Good evening and welcome to Science While You Sleep. Right now, wherever you are, I imagine you are winding down. Maybe you are lying in bed, your head resting on a pillow, perhaps wrapped in a blanket, letting the day finally fade away. The lights are dim, the air is still, and your body is searching for comfort after everything you've gone through today. You may feel a little tired, maybe even heavy with sleep. Or perhaps your mind is still busy, turning over thoughts from work, from life, from the endless stream of things that fill our days. But here, in this moment, I invite you to let go, to allow the weight of those thoughts to drift away, at least for a little while. You don't need to solve anything right now. You don't need to carry the worries of tomorrow. This time is yours, and tonight we will take a journey together. A journey not through crowded cities or busy streets, but through the vastness of time and space. Close your eyes, if you wish. Take a slow, deep breath. And imagine with me, have you ever wondered what came before us? Not just before your life or before the lives of your parents and grandparents, but far, far before thousands, even millions of years before the first cities on Earth rose. Before the first stories were told around campfires, we look at our planet and we think, this is where it all began. This is the cradle of humanity, the birthplace of civilization. And yet, what if it wasn't? What if the first true civilization, the first beings to build cities, to write, to think, to dream, what if they lived not here, but on another world? And not just any world, but on Mars tonight. I want you to imagine this with me, gently, slowly, like a dream forming at the edge of your mind. Let us picture a time so far in the past that the Earth was still young, still restless, covered in oceans and storms. And above us, in the night sky, there was Mars. Not the dry, red desert we know today, but a vibrant, living world. A world with rivers that flowed like silver veins across its surface. A world with lakes that mirrored the sky. A world with a thick atmosphere, with clouds drifting lazily, and perhaps even seas that stretched to the horizon. And on that world, maybe, just maybe, life rose earlier than it did here. If that is true, then we must ask, what would that life have been like? Did it crawl from the oceans like life did on Earth? Did it breathe in the thin Martian air and gaze at its twin planets shining blue across the night? Did it build shelters, plant seeds, raise families? Did it wonder, as we do, about where it came from and what it meant to exist? It's a thought that stretches the imagination, but that's exactly what makes it beautiful to explore. Tonight, you don't need to worry about whether it's fact or fiction. You don't need to debate the science, though science will guide us. Instead, just let yourself drift into the possibilities. Let curiosity carry you, like a gentle current pulling you into the sea of sleep. You see, our world is full of mysteries that remind us how little we truly know. Beneath our feet are fossils of creatures that once ruled the earth, bones of giants who disappeared long before we arrived. On the seafloor lie ruins of ancient cultures we barely understand. And in the sky above, there are planets that whisper secrets of what might have been. Mars has always held a special place in that mystery. For centuries, people have looked at the red star in the sky and wondered if it was alive. Astronomers in the 19th century thought they saw canals, vast lines stretching across the planet, perhaps built by intelligent beings. Even though we later discovered those canals were an illusion, the question has never truly gone away. Could there have been life there? Could there have been more? NASA rovers have shown us dry riverbeds, ancient lakebeds, and minerals that can only form in water. We know Mars was once wet, warmer, and friendlier to life. And if it could host life, could it also have nurtured minds? A culture, a civilization. As you lie there, sinking deeper into comfort, I want you to imagine walking across that ancient Mars. The air is thin but breathable. The ground beneath your feet is red but alive with plants that grow low and hardy, clinging to the soil. You hear water trickling, see the reflection of the twin moons, Phobos and Deimos, gliding silently overhead. In the distance, a city rises, domes of glass or stone, towers carved from the very rock of Mars, illuminated by a pale sun. You approach, and you realize these are not ruins. This is alive. This is the first civilization, and it has been here long before Earth knew the touch of human hands. For the next hours, we'll explore this vision together. We'll imagine how such a civilization might have lived, how it might have thrived, and why it might have fallen. We'll think about how they could have looked across the void to Earth and dreamed of starting again here. We'll wonder whether traces of them remain hidden under Martian soil, or even within ourselves. But for now, in this beginning, you don't need to think too hard. Just breathe. Just listen. Let the story unfold around you like a blanket, wrapping you in calmness. Your body is resting, your thoughts are slowing. And together we are about to step into the mystery of Mars. This is not only a journey into space. It is also a journey into wonder, into possibility, into that quiet place where dreams and questions meet. And maybe, by the time you drift into sleep, you will feel as though you have walked a little across those ancient Martian plains. As though you have touched the stones of a city lost to time. So, let us begin. Imagine Mars, not as it is today, but as it might once have been. Not the silent, cold desert that we see through the eyes of rovers and satellites, but a living world full of movement and sound. A planet breathing under a thicker sky, painted not just in shades of red and brown, but in blues, greens, and golds. If you close your eyes, you might see it now. The horizon stretches far and wide, glowing in the pale light of a smaller, more distant sun. The ground beneath your feet is still the familiar rust color, but it is softened by carpets of strange mosses, clinging plants, and shallow roots. These are not the towering trees of Earth, but they are life, bending with the breeze, filling the air with a faint, earthy scent. Above you, clouds drift lazily, sculpted into soft shapes by the winds. They are tinted faintly by the dust of Mars, glowing pink at the edges where sunlight touches them. And the sky itself is not the sharp, thin orange you see in photographs today, but a hazy blue-green, richer, deeper, carrying the weight of a thicker atmosphere. Rivers cut through valleys, carving their way across the land. Some are wide, carrying the glint of sunlight as they move slowly across the plains, their surfaces alive with ripples. Others are narrow and fast, rushing down from ancient hills, splashing against rocks, shaping the land with patient hands. At the heart of these rivers lie lakes, shimmering mirrors that catch the colors of the sky and hold them close. And beyond the lakes, there are seas. Perhaps not as vast as Earth's oceans, but wide enough that you cannot see their farthest shores. Standing at the edge, you can hear the gentle rhythm of waves brushing against the coast, whispering endlessly, as though the planet itself is breathing. It is a Mars that feels alive. A Mars that welcomes instead of warning us away. Now, let yourself walk a little farther in this vision. You climb a low ridge, the soil soft beneath your feet. And as you reach the top, the view unfolds before you, a valley carved by ancient waters, with winding rivers and patches of green that cling to the edges of stone. The valley floor is dotted with shimmering pools, each one reflecting the sky like a jewel. And in the distance rises a mountain, not just any mountain, but Olympus Mons, the tallest volcano in the solar system. On our Mars today, it is silent, a frozen giant. But in this imagined past, it breathes. Its slopes are dark with rich volcanic soil. Steam rises faintly from vents near the top, and perhaps, once in a while, the night sky is lit by the red glow of its eruptions. It is not frightening, though. It is magnificent, a beacon that reminds the people of this Mars that their planet is alive, restless, and full of energy. Picture now the sky at dusk. The sun, smaller than we know it here on Earth, slips toward the horizon, leaving trails of gold and crimson behind it. As night falls, the stars pierce the fading light one by one, sharper and brighter than you have ever seen them. Mars has no thick clouds or humid air to hide them, so they shine like crystal dust scattered across the black. And there, glowing in the sky, is Earth, a blue star hanging silently, turning slowly in the darkness. For the first Martians, whoever they might have been, Earth would have been a mystery. A beacon in the heavens, just as Mars has been to us. Did they wonder if life existed there? Did they dream of visiting it, of crossing the void to reach it? Did they imagine one day their descendants might walk upon its soil? The thought of a Martian night is peaceful. 2 small moons drift overhead. Phobos, the closer one, rushes quickly across the sky, completing its orbit in just hours. Deimos, smaller and farther, crawls slowly, a patient companion in the stillness. Their light is faint, but it softens the landscape, painting silver highlights across rivers and hills, and in that quiet, you can almost hear voices. The hum of life, not loud, not chaotic, but gentle. Perhaps the chirping of night creatures hidden in the moss, or the distant echo of something moving in the waters. And maybe, if we allow ourselves to imagine even further, the faint rhythm of civilization, fires burning, songs drifting into the night. Stories told beneath the twin moons. Science tells us that Mars may once have had all the ingredients needed for life. Water, warmth, a thicker atmosphere, and perhaps even magnetic protection to shield it from the sun. If those conditions were real, then life could have begun there long before Earth was ready. Think of it, while Earth was still being battered by asteroids, still covered in restless volcanoes and poisonous skies. Mars may have already been calm enough for life to take root, and if life began earlier there, it may have had more time to evolve, to grow, to dream. To build, you are resting now. You're breathing slower, calmer, as you let this vision deepen. Mars is no longer just a red dot in the sky. It is a world alive in your mind, with rivers and valleys, seas and skies. It is a place where the idea of a first civilization no longer feels impossible, but natural. Think of the beings who might have walked there. Not aliens in the way we imagine with sharp teeth and strange skin, but perhaps something closer to us, thoughtful, curious, searching. They may have looked different, yes. Their bodies may have been shaped by a world with lower gravity, by different air, different food. But deep inside, they may have carried the same spark we carry. The spark to ask questions, to build, to imagine the future. And as you lie here, ready for sleep, you are sharing a connection across time and imagination with them. They may have looked at Earth and dreamed, just as we look at Mars now and wonder. This is how our story begins. With a vision not of ruins, but of life. Not of endings, but of beginnings. A living Mars, ancient and full of possibility. A Mars where, perhaps, just perhaps, the first civilization wrote its story before we ever began to write ours. The surface of Mars may appear quiet, but in its rocks and dust, entire chapters of history are locked away. Every layer of soil, every dried riverbed is like a page in a forgotten book. To read it, humanity has sent eyes, ears, and hands across the void of space. Our rovers, orbiters, and landers. Take Jezero Crater, for instance. From a distance, it looks like a scar, an indentation on the Martian surface. But when scientists mapped it from orbit, they saw something extraordinary. The remains of a river delta. Curved branching channels spread outward, the unmistakable pattern of flowing water meeting a standing lake. On Earth, deltas are fertile grounds where life flourishes, where nutrients gather, where ecosystems thrive. Could Jezero have once been Mars's own cradle of possibility? That is why NASA's Perseverance rover was sent there. Not just to wander, but to search. Its mission is not about grand discovery in a single moment, but about patience collecting samples, drilling into rocks, storing pieces of Mars for a day, when they can be brought back to Earth. Somewhere in those samples may lie preserved traces of life, hidden in minerals or chemical fingerprints. Imagine those rocks as time capsules. You hold one in your hand, a piece of red stone, and within its tiny fractures lies the residue of ancient water. Perhaps, if we are fortunate, even the remains of microscopic organisms, fossils, so small we'd need powerful microscopes to see them. And if such fossils were found, what would they tell us? They would whisper, life is not unique to Earth. Life is an experiment the universe attempts again and again. But even now, while we wait for those samples to be returned, Mars already teases us with mystery. One of the most debated puzzles is methane on Earth. Methane is often produced by living creatures, bacteria deep underground, digesting in ways both ancient and invisible. When scientists detected methane plumes on Mars, the world leaned forward. Was this gas being released by geological processes, or could it be something more? The atmosphere of Mars is thin and fragile, and methane should break down quickly. Yet, time and again, instruments recorded sudden spikes, as though the planet itself exhaled. We must be cautious, of course. There are non-biological ways to produce methane, reactions between rock and water, for instance. But the possibility that it could be a biological signature is enough to set imaginations alight. What if deep beneath the Martian crust, in hidden aquifers, colonies of microbes still exist, thriving in the dark, untouched by the planet's freezing surface? If so, then Mars is not just a story of ancient life, but of ongoing life, surviving quietly as the ages pass. This question becomes even more compelling when we compare Mars to Earth's extremophiles. On our planet, there are organisms that endure conditions once thought impossible. Microbes that live inside rocks kilometers below the surface. Bacteria that survive on arsenic, creatures that thrive in boiling hydrothermal vents, and even hardy microbes that can endure the vacuum of space. If Earth's life can adapt so wildly, then why not Mars's? Why not imagine a world where survival took on strange, unexpected forms? And here lies the beauty of science. It's not simply about collecting data, but about reshaping the way we imagine. Every photograph sent back by the rovers, every ridge, every dune, every cracked plane is a reminder that Mars is not dead history, but an unfinished story now. Close your eyes again and picture standing near Jezero crater today. The sky above is thin, the air cold, the ground barren. Yet as you walk, you see the curved outline of that delta, carved in stone. You run your fingers across the rocks and realize this is the memory of water. This is evidence that Mars once held something more. It is a strange feeling, almost haunting, to stand on a world that might have once known life, now fallen silent. Imagine what secrets lie below, waiting to be uncovered. Imagine the fossils of organisms that lived billions of years ago, preserved perfectly in stone. Their existence unknown until we finally hold them in our hands. And imagine further if Mars truly was home to life, even in the simplest form. What does that say about the universe? It would mean that life does not need rare miracles. It only needs opportunity. A little warmth, a little water, the right chemistry, and suddenly, the cosmos blooms with possibilities. That thought alone is enough to change how we see ourselves. Because if life can spark on two planets in one solar system, then surely it can spark elsewhere, on moons orbiting Jupiter, on distant exoplanets circling alien suns. Perhaps the galaxy is not a silent void, but a garden whose seeds are scattered wide. Close your eyes for a moment and let your thoughts drift. Imagine that tomorrow news breaks across the world. A sample brought back from Mars contains undeniable proof of ancient life. Not speculation, not maybe, but clear evidence: fossilized microbial structures, chemical signatures, something that cannot be explained away. How would you feel? perhaps a chill down your spine, perhaps awe or disbelief. For centuries, humanity has looked to the heavens and wondered if we are alone. To learn that Mars, our neighbor, once carried life would mean that the universe is not silent. It is alive with possibility. Think of the philosophical weight of such a discovery. Religions would reflect on creation in a new light. Philosophers would ask whether life is not an exception, but a rule. Children would grow up looking at the night sky not as an unreachable mystery, but as a place filled with cousins we have yet to meet. And beyond philosophy, imagine the comfort it might bring. For some, the universe has always felt too vast, too cold, too indifferent. But the knowledge that life blossomed on two worlds so close together, Earth and Mars, would mean the cosmos is less lonely than we feared. It would mean that life is not fragile, but resilient, eager to bloom wherever conditions allow. Now, let's take this thought further. If life once existed on Mars, then where did it go? Did it vanish when the planet's climate shifted, its magnetic field collapsed, and its atmosphere thinned into almost nothing? Was it extinguished by forces beyond its control, like a candle blown out by the wind? Or did it retreat underground, surviving in hidden aquifers deep below the reach of radiation, clinging to warmth and moisture in the dark? Both possibilities carry meaning. If life ended, then Mars is a warning, a mirror held up to Earth, reminding us how fragile planetary habitability can be. But if life continues, if it still breathes quietly beneath the surface, then Mars is not a tomb, but a sanctuary, a place where persistence wins against impossible odds. Now, let's allow ourselves to imagine what form that life could take. Not little green beings or grand civilizations, but something smaller, humbler, more ancient. Microbes that never evolved beyond simplicity, yet carried within them the same spark that lit the fire of existence on Earth. Perhaps their cells are different, their chemistry strange, but in their essence, they are kin to us. And in that kinship lies a profound truth. We are not unique, but part of a greater family of life in the cosmos. Pause for a moment. Breathe deeply and think about what that means. The atoms in your body, carbon, oxygen, iron, were born in stars. The life within you is the universe learning to look at itself. And if life also blossomed on Mars, then it means that the universe wanted to look through two sets of eyes on two worlds, not just one. There is also another possibility, one that stirs the imagination even more. What if life on Earth and Mars are not separate stories, but the same story? What if meteorites traveling between the planets carried microbes with them, seeding one world from the other? Scientists call this idea panspermia. If true, then perhaps we are Martians ourselves, descendants of life that began there and migrated here. Or perhaps Earth seeded Mars long ago, leaving behind a quiet echo of our shared origin. Either way, the connection is intimate. We and Mars are not strangers. We are chapters in the same cosmic book, written in dust and stone and starlight. Now imagine you are lying in bed, listening to these words, your mind floating gently. Let yourself feel the vastness of this idea, but also its comfort. You are part of something larger, something ancient. The stars above are not cold strangers. They are reminders of the same cosmic process that gave rise to you. And Mars, that small red point of light in the night sky, might once have been alive too, reaching out in its own quiet way. Think of the generations ahead. One day, humans may walk across those plains and hold fossils in their hands, or even drill deep enough to uncover living microbes still hiding in the dark. That moment will not just be scientific, it will be spiritual, emotional, transformative. It will remind us that life is more than an accident. It is a pattern, a melody that the universe hums to itself across worlds. And as you let this thought settle, notice how your body feels heavier, calmer, ready to rest. You don't need to solve the mystery tonight. You don't need to have the answers. All you need is the wonder, the soft, gentle possibility that life is not confined to Earth, but scattered like seeds in the wind. Waiting to bloom, so drift now, peacefully. With the image of ancient Mars in your mind, a world that might once have known rain, rivers, and living breath. A world that whispers to us still, across time and space. You are not alone. Now, imagine walking deeper into the heart of one of those ancient Martian cities. The streets are alive with the soft murmur of voices. Children laugh as they play near fountains of clear water, carefully channeled from distant springs. Artisans hammer and chisel, shaping clay, stone, and metal. Elders sit beneath the shade of curved structures, sharing stories that have been passed down for generations. Society, at its core, is the sum of all these moments. And for the first Martians, society may have been a delicate tapestry, woven from necessity, curiosity, and imagination. Cooperation would have been vital. To survive the harsher parts of the planet, to build cities, to cultivate crops in the thin soil. They would have needed to work together. Perhaps they developed councils or gatherings, where the wisest among them advised on matters of governance, law, and conflict resolution. Imagine those councils now. Around a wide circular table carved from stone, leaders debate the allocation of water, the placement of new dwellings, the construction of bridges. They do so with respect, understanding that every decision ripples across the community. Each choice carries consequences for families, for artisans, for scholars, and for those who tend the rivers and fields. Even in a world so far away and so ancient, the importance of fairness, wisdom, and foresight would have been clear. And what of culture? Civilization cannot survive on survival alone. It needs stories, art, and expression. Martian society may have celebrated the movement of the moons across the sky, holding festivals during eclipses or the slow drift of Phobos and Deimos. Music could have echoed across courtyards, soft and melodic, carried by the thin air, its vibrations settling in stone walls and rooftops. Perhaps they created instruments unlike any we know today, tuned to the unique resonance of their planet, producing sounds that were both haunting and beautiful. Religion and belief might have played a central role in daily life. Imagine temples carved into cliffs or standing proudly in plazas. These sacred spaces were more than decoration. They reflected a deep reverence for the world around them. Did the Martians believe in gods tied to water, sun, and storms? Did they worship the land, the rivers, the mountains, or the sky itself? Perhaps their beliefs were intertwined with observation of the heavens, with rituals designed to honor the twin moons or the distant Earth. A pale blue dot that shone in the night. Language, too, would have been essential. Even in this imagined world, they would need to communicate ideas, record discoveries, and preserve stories. Symbols might have been etched into stone, painted on walls, or woven into textiles. Perhaps they used pictographs representing rivers, mountains, and stars, or abstract symbols representing concepts like wisdom, life, and balance. In their language, every mark would carry meaning. Every curve and line a bridge across time, whispering the story of their civilization to anyone who could read it if anyone ever could. Now, pause for a moment and let yourself feel the hum of life in this city. The sounds, the smells, the gentle movements of people and animals, all interwoven into a living ecosystem of thought and culture. The Martians, though long gone, may have lived with the same hopes and fears that we feel today. They laughed, they argued, they dreamed of tomorrow. And in doing so, they built something lasting, not just structures, but ideas, traditions, and social bonds that may have survived, etched faintly into the planet itself. Even their conflict might have had lessons for us. Imagine disputes settled not through violence, but through dialogue, negotiation, and wisdom. Perhaps there were duels of knowledge, competitions of skill or strategy, debates that shaped law and governance. Every action, every ceremony, every small invention was a thread in a vast tapestry, slowly creating a society that thrived in harmony with its environment. And what about trade? Communities could have exchanged materials, knowledge, and ideas. Minerals from deep in the mountains, rare crystals, water from distant aquifers, seeds of cultivated plants. These resources might have flowed along carefully maintained roads and rivers, connecting settlements across valleys and plains. Trade would have carried not just goods, but stories, traditions, and innovations, allowing society to evolve in complexity and sophistication. Pause now. Feel the rhythm of that civilization in your mind. Each person plays a role. Every voice matters. Every movement, small or grand, contributes to the life of the city. And through this quiet rhythm, a civilization emerges not built on conquest alone, but on cooperation, creativity, not the pursuit of knowledge. Imagine the Martians gathering in a central plaza under the twin moons. Music drifts from stone instruments. Children laugh as elders tell stories of ancestors who tamed rivers and carved homes from stone. Scholars debate patterns in the stars. Artists paint the skies onto clay tiles, capturing the glow of moons and sunlight. This is society, a living, breathing organism connected by shared goals, dreams, and culture. And as you listen, let yourself absorb the wonder of this moment. Though billions of years have passed, though Mars is now silent, the echoes of this society may still linger in its valleys, rivers, and plains. The carved stones, the dried channels, the whisper of wind across ancient streets, all are fragments of a story that once was. Imagine standing at the edge of one of the largest Martian cities. The twin moons hanging low in the sky, casting a soft, copper-colored glow over the landscape. The streets stretch out before you, not chaotic, but carefully planned, lined with buildings that balance utility, beauty, and imagination. Every corner, every arch, every step reveals a civilization that understood its environment and sought to harmonize with it. Architecture. In this vision of Mars was more than shelter. It was a statement of purpose, an expression of culture, and a way to connect with the universe. The buildings might have been sculpted from the native rock, domes curving like the moons above, and walls etched with symbols that recorded not just history, but knowledge, astronomy, mathematics, medicine, and philosophy. Imagine open courtyards where water channels glimmer under sunlight, reflecting the sky and carrying life through the city. Nourishing gardens that fed the community. The materials they used may have been simple stone, clay, metals, but their ingenuity elevated them to art. They mastered the flow of water and air, shaping their environment to withstand the shifting Martian climate. Buildings might have been layered, rising high toward the sky or sinking into the ground for protection. Designed with both elegance and practicality, observation towers could have soared above the city, allowing scholars to study the movement of the stars, tracking time, seasons, and cosmic events. Now, think about their technology. In this civilization, technology might not have resembled our modern machines, but it would have been transformative. Simple tools evolved into complex devices, water wheels turning in rivers to irrigate crops, levers and pulleys to lift massive stones, and perhaps energy systems harnessing geothermal heat or the power of the wind. Imagine small machines that purified water, devices that measured the passage of time with incredible precision, or instruments that recorded astronomical data with accuracy that would astound even modern scientists. Technology and architecture were deeply intertwined. Bridges spanned rivers, crafted with both structural knowledge and aesthetic grace. Roads wound carefully across the plains, connecting communities and allowing trade, culture, and knowledge to flow seamlessly. Cities were organized around plazas and temples, where social and spiritual life converged, and where technology served not just survival, but the growth of society. Pause for a moment and let your mind wander. Walk through one of those streets in your imagination. Feel the smooth stone beneath your feet. See the soft glow of Martian lamps lighting the night. Hear the gentle murmur of water flowing in aqueducts, the laughter of children, the discussion of scholars. Every structure tells a story of planning, of innovation, of a society striving to shape its world thoughtfully and beautifully. Perhaps Martian engineers discovered principles we are still uncovering today, methods of using natural resources efficiently, techniques for balancing weight and strength in construction, or ways to capture energy without harming the environment. Their cities may have been laboratories in motion, every building a testament to curiosity, every road a demonstration of logic and foresight. And yet, there is an emotional resonance here. Architecture is more than technology. It is memory made tangible. Each carved wall, each domed roof, each bridge spanning a river is a fragment of a civilization's soul. Even now, billions of years later, those echoes may remain in the dust, whispering stories of ingenuity, hope, and persistence. As you listen, let yourself imagine the full experience. Perhaps in the largest temple, scholars gathered under domed ceilings painted with murals of the cosmos. They mapped the stars, studied the movement of planets, and recorded their findings in stone tablets that could endure the passage of time. Perhaps in bustling marketplaces, artisans displayed innovations that combined art and technology tools that performed intricate tasks, yet were designed with elegance and beauty. Consider how these Martians approached life with balance. They did not seek to dominate their world recklessly, but to understand it, to harmonize with its rivers, its winds, its skies. Their architecture and technology were not merely functional. They were reflections of a philosophy that valued knowledge, aesthetics, and community. And now, imagine walking to the edge of the city as dusk falls. The twin moons glow softly, casting elongated shadows across terraces, plazas, and gardens. The sounds of life fade into a quiet hum, and the city seems to exhale, as if aware that it has endured not just through physical construction, but through the ideas and dreams embedded in every stone and channel. This is the legacy of civilization. Not only the monuments that survive, but the vision and intellect that shaped them. Even on a world like Mars, billions of years ago, life had the potential to imagine, create, and thrive. And though we may never walk those ancient streets, we can honor them in our imagination, letting the memory of their ingenuity inspire us, comfort us, and remind us of the endless possibilities the universe holds. And as you rest, picture yourself standing atop one of those Martian terraces. Feel the gentle breeze on your face, the soft glow of the moons above, the rhythm of life below. Let the thought of this ancient civilization lull you into calmness, a reminder that even across time and space, the echoes of life, creativity, and knowledge can persist, inviting us to dream, to explore, and to rest in wonder. Imagine. For a moment, that same thriving Martian civilization we have been exploring. Cities rise beneath twin moons, rivers course through fertile valleys, and technology hums quietly in harmony with life. And yet, like all worlds, Mars is subject to the whims of time, climate, and cosmic forces. Even the grandest civilizations must contend with change, and sometimes with catastrophe. Pause and breathe deeply. Picture the skies above, once soft with blue and white clouds, slowly fading to a faint, dusty haze. Imagine standing on a terrace of a Martian city, watching water levels in the rivers recede year after year, until the once steaming waterways become narrow channels of trickling liquid. And then, finally, dry beds cracked like ancient parchment. Water is life, and its loss can shift the balance of civilization. Perhaps the Martians first noticed small changes: a spring that no longer flowed, crops that failed in the heat of the sun, the slow disappearance of lakes once vital for drinking, irrigation, and energy. Communities that had thrived for centuries suddenly faced scarcity. Rivers no longer nourished fields, and the mechanisms built to harness water strained under insufficient supply. This slow decline would have tested the very fabric of their society. Leaders would have convened councils, debating solutions, allocating resources, and searching for new water sources. Engineers might have built canals or reservoirs, but as the climate changed, such measures may only have delayed the inevitable. Perhaps tensions rose between communities once united, as survival became a daily challenge. Now, think of the psychological weight. For beings capable of reflection and understanding, seeing their world transform would have been deeply unsettling. Imagine walking through empty streets where children once played, hearing the echo of flowing water that has long since vanished. The air itself grows colder, thinner, carrying whispers of a planet slowly losing its vitality. Mars is a delicate world. Its atmosphere is thin and vulnerable, and without the magnetic field that protects planets from solar radiation, the surface is exposed to harsh ultraviolet light and cosmic rays. Over millennia, the atmosphere itself may have leaked into space, stripping away the very air the Martians relied upon. Perhaps dust storms grew more frequent, more intense, scouring cities and plains alike. These storms could last for months, even years, covering the red landscape in fine particulate clouds, blocking sunlight, and chilling the surface. Pause again and imagine the sensation of those storms. The sky darkens to an eerie twilight, sands swirl with unrelenting force, and the wind carries a sound like distant, mournful drums. Life would have retreated indoors. Markets, schools, and public spaces emptied. Technology strained against the elements. Survival became a test not just of ingenuity, but of endurance and patience. And yet, even in decline, the Martians would have sought solutions. They may have experimented with early forms of climate management, attempting to trap heat, store water, or shield crops. They could have developed underground habitats, carving spaces into rock to escape the cold, the wind, and the diminishing sunlight. Picture subterranean cities with tunnels glowing softly from luminescent minerals, with water recycled carefully, and communities huddled together for warmth and protection. But despite every effort, some forces are beyond control. Meteoritic impacts may have occurred, sudden and catastrophic. A single strike could level a city, sending dust into the atmosphere and further destabilizing the already fragile climate. Even distant cosmic events, solar flares, asteroid showers would have imposed their will, reminding the Martians of their smallness in the face of a vast, indifferent universe. Consider also internal factors. With scarcity comes tension. Communities may have fractured under the pressure of dwindling resources. Conflicts over water, fertile land, or shelter could have erupted, leaving scars on what had once been a harmonious society. Cultural and technological achievements may have persisted only in fragments, carved into stone or hidden in remote archives, waiting for some future discoverer to glimpse them. Pause, and let your mind absorb the quiet melancholy of this vision. Mars, once alive and vibrant, slowly succumbing to forces beyond the control of even the wisest or most skilled. Cities once filled with laughter and music, now empty, their towers standing as silent witnesses to a fading civilization. The echoes of life's stories, inventions, art still linger in the dust and stone, but the world itself grows colder, quieter, and more distant. Yet there is a strange beauty in decline. Even as life waned, the ingenuity and resilience of the Martians remained. Their structures endured storms and time. Their tools reflected understanding of the planet. Their art preserved glimpses of their culture. In this decay, there is a lesson. Even when survival becomes uncertain, the marks of a civilization teached creativity. Knowledge and spirit can, echo across millennia, whispering to future generations, or to us, listening across the vast gulf of time. So, as you lie back and close your eyes, imagine the stillness of Mars at dusk. The wind settles, dust drifts lazily over empty streets, and the twin moons rise slowly in the darkening sky. Feel the weight of history in the silent towers, in the dried riverbeds, in the quiet gardens left behind. And know that even in collapse, there is reflection, memory, and a gentle reminder of life's fragility and of its resilience. Imagine Mars again, long after the rivers have begun to vanish and the first signs of strain ripple through its cities. Life continues, but precariously. The winds grow fiercer, carrying with them fine red dust that scratches stone and settles into every corner. Days once bright are now muted beneath persistent dust clouds. The sky, once a soft blue, becomes a dull ochre, and temperatures swing unpredictably between cold and colder. Consider the storms that may have swept across the planet. Not brief gusts, but immense dust storms stretching for hundreds of miles, lasting for months. They would have tested the ingenuity of architects and engineers, forcing Martians to design buildings that could withstand the relentless barrage. Perhaps they built inner courtyards shielded by high walls, or domes reinforced with layered stone to endure the battering winds. Even with careful planning, the storms could have forced communities to retreat into subterranean shelters. Tunnels and caverns carefully carved from the rock. Imagine the sound of these storms. The wind roars across plains, the dust hisses through narrow streets, and every step outside becomes a battle against an unyielding force of nature. The Martians, resourceful and determined, might have worked together to repair damage, clear pathways, and protect the weak and the young. Even in these harsh moments, there's resilience, the quiet hum of life refusing to vanish. But Mars offered challenges beyond storms. The planet's climate may have shifted gradually, yet relentlessly. Temperatures fluctuated wildly, water sources diminished, and the atmosphere thinned further, exposing life to dangerous levels of radiation. Crops once abundant withered, and animals may have vanished, leaving communities to rely on stored provisions or underground cultivation. Imagine scholars and leaders devising new ways to sustain life. Greenhouses built below the surface, artificial light mimicking the sun, water recycled endlessly, and communities carefully rationing every drop. Now consider seismic or volcanic events. Mars is home to massive volcanoes, taller than any mountain on Earth. Imagine a sudden eruption shaking the planet, sending ash and molten rock across plains, altering landscapes, and cutting off regions from one another. Cities may have been buried partially, rivers blocked, and trade routes severed. Even in the face of such cataclysms, the ingenuity of Martians would have been tested to the fullest. As they rebuilt homes, rerouted water, and preserved knowledge. And yet, with each disaster, the society itself may have transformed. Conflict could have increased as scarce resources forced communities to compete. Laws and councils, once guiding cooperation, may have been strained, challenged by the necessity of survival. Some communities may have migrated underground entirely, forming isolated colonies in caverns lit by faint bioluminescent plants or artificial light. Others may have attempted to terraform small regions, creating microhabitats within the harsher environment, a testament to their determination and intelligence. Imagine the Martians' emotions during this time. Fear, certainly, as they witnessed the slow decline of their once vibrant world, yet also hope and determination. Each repair, each innovation, each moment of shared effort became an assertion against the encroaching chaos. Even as cities fell into partial ruin, the spirit of civilization persisted. Knowledge, art, and memory were safeguarded in archives, etched into stone, and preserved in subterranean vaults, awaiting a future where someone, perhaps even a Smite, discovered them. Now, Take a deep breath and picture the landscape. Dust swirls across the plains, towering volcanoes loom in the distance, and rivers have shrunk to narrow channels or disappeared entirely. Cities, partially abandoned, rise like islands in a barren sea. The wind whispers through empty streets, carrying the echoes of lives once lived. And yet, in this silence, there is a quiet dignity, the proof of life's endurance, even in decline. Even as catastrophe reshaped the planet, the Martians may have left traces of their resilience. Ingenious irrigation systems, underground water reservoirs, protective architectural designs, and meticulously carved tablets or murals. These were not just practical, they were acts of hope, of culture, of belief that even if the surface became inhospitable, the essence of civilization could survive as you listen and imagine. Let the calm of this reflection settle over you. Feel the wind of Mars in your mind. Hear the distant echo of a planet shaped by life. And sense the determination of beings who faced the unyielding forces of their world. Even in collapse, there is a story of persistence, of intelligence, of imagination reaching against adversity. Pause now. Imagine the Martian cities as twilight falls. Dust settles over streets and plazas. The twin moons glow faintly through the haze, casting long, soft shadows across domes and towers. Communities huddle underground, safe from storms, still alive in spirit. And above it all, the ruins of once magnificent architecture rise as silent witnesses. Reminders of a civilization that dared to dream, build, and endure even when the planet itself seemed to fight against them. Imagine, if you will, the last flickers of life in a Martian city. The rivers have all but disappeared, their channels cracked and dry. Dust drifts lazily across empty streets. Towers, once bustling with activity, now stand partially crumbled, their carved walls whispering stories of a civilization that thrived against the odds. A profound quiet settles over the planet, a quiet that carries the memory of life, but also the weight of loss in the final stages of decline. Survival is no longer just about thriving. It is about endurance. Communities retreat underground, deep into tunnels and caverns that offer shelter from the thinning atmosphere, the relentless winds, and the harsh ultraviolet light. Life becomes concentrated, intimate, and careful. Families huddle together, tending carefully to crops in small subterranean gardens, recycling water and air, conserving every resource. The outside world becomes a vast and dangerous expanse, largely abandoned, yet still etched with the traces of history. Think of the emotional landscape of this period. There is sorrow, certainly, as the grandeur of cities fades. But there is also reflection and wisdom. Elders tell stories to the young, not only of survival, but of achievements, discoveries, and moments of joy. Songs are sung of rivers that once flowed, of twin moons that illuminated the night, of temples and towers that reached toward the sky. Knowledge is preserved in stone tablets, murals, and hidden archives, carefully safeguarded against the erosion of time. Even as life contracts into these smaller, hidden spaces, the spirit of civilization persists. Technology, too, adapts. Simple machines continue to assist with water purification, light, and food cultivation. Energy is drawn from natural sources, geothermal vents, trapped solar heat, and perhaps even magnetic fields, allowing a flicker of normalcy in an increasingly unstable world. Every effort to preserve knowledge, every architectural innovation is a testament to hope, to the belief that the essence of civilization can endure even when the planet itself is failing. Now, imagine walking through one of these abandoned streets. Dust swirls through empty plazas. Towers cast long shadows in the fading light. Windows are dark. Doors stand slightly ajar. The city is silent, yet it speaks. Every crumbling wall, every carved symbol, every collapsed arch is a record of life once lived, ideas once shared, and the unyielding creativity of beings long gone. There is an eerie beauty in this silence, a quiet majesty in the endurance of stone and memory. Consider the traces that remain. Perhaps hidden beneath layers of dust and rock are remnants of sophisticated water systems. Aqueducts still intact, silently demonstrating the engineering skill of the Martians. Murals depicting the stars, the moons, and the movement of planets may remain on walls that survive storms and time. Artifact stools, ceremonial objects, devices for measurement or observation linger as fragments of a culture that valued knowledge, beauty, and harmony with their environment, even in abandonment. Mars holds the memory of its civilization. The twin moons continue their slow, eternal orbit. Winds whisper through ruined streets, carrying the faint echo of voices that once filled the air. Storms still sweep across plains, yet beneath the surface, life may have persisted for generations in hidden refuges. And while the planet eventually falls silent, the legacy of that first Martian civilization remains etched into the landscape, into the stones, into the air that once carried the laughter and songs of a thriving society. As you imagine this, allow yourself to feel the gentle melancholy of time and impermanence. Civilization, no matter how advanced, is fragile in the face of cosmic forces. Yet there is a profound comfort in the idea that life, creativity, and knowledge, once sparked, leave traces that can endure. Perhaps one day, far in the future, explorers or dreamers like us, in this moment, might uncover remnants of this vanished world and marvel at the ingenuity, resilience, and spirit of a civilization that once existed beyond our Earth. Pause now and let the stillness of Mars settle over you. Picture the silent towers, the hidden tunnels, the faded murals, and the deserted plazas under twin moons. Imagine the echoes of life reverberating gently through the dust, carrying memories of achievement, love, and discovery. And as you rest, know that even in collapse, the essence of civilization, the curiosity, creativity, and determination of life can persist, waiting to inspire those who come after. Picture Mars in its final days of civilization. The cities are quieter, rivers have dried, storms sweep across vast plains, and the twin moons hang low, casting gentle shadows over the scarred landscape. Life persists in small, hidden enclaves, but the planet can no longer sustain a thriving civilization. And in the hearts of the last generations of Martians, a quiet, almost sacred idea begins to take shape: the search for a new world. A new beginning beyond the red horizon. Imagine the first thoughts of migration. Perhaps they look to the stars, the distant twinkle of a blue planet hanging delicately in the blackness. That planet turned sown with promise, its oceans reflecting sunlight, its atmosphere rich and welcoming. It would have seemed like a fragile jewel in the void. Yet it offered something Mars could no longer provide: abundance. Water, air, and a chance to start anew. Now, picture the conversations in Martian councils. Leaders and scholars gather in quiet chambers, discussing not only survival but destiny. How could a civilization already strained by environmental collapse reach another world? What vessels would carry life across millions of kilometers of cold, empty space? Could families, knowledge, culture, and technology be preserved in transit? These discussions would have been filled with both urgency and reverence, a delicate balance between fear and hope. As we imagine this, think about the logistics. Martians, advanced in technology and problem-solving, may have designed immense arcs vessels capable of withstanding the vacuum of space, carrying essential life support systems and protecting both people and the accumulated knowledge of their society. Perhaps these ships were carved from metals mined in Martian mountains, reinforced with layered alloys that could endure cosmic radiation. Interiors would have been carefully organized: communal areas, laboratories, water recycling systems, and storage for seeds and food reserves. And what of the emotional weight of such a voyage? Imagine families gathered, leaving behind the cities of their ancestors, their beloved temples, the streets where children once played. There would have been sorrow, certainly, but also anticipation, a sense of embarking on a sacred journey, one that could preserve the essence of a civilization that had thrived for millennia. Parents might have whispered stories of Mars, its rivers, its twin moons, and its great towers, teaching the young the value of resilience, curiosity, and community. Now envision the departure itself. The first ships lifting from the surface, engines humming with controlled power, lifting carefully into the thin Martian atmosphere. The planet below shrinks slowly, its red plains and scattered ruins fading into the vastness of space. And yet, the Martians are not fleeing. They are carrying their legacy, their culture, and their hopes with them, transforming the unknown void into a bridge between past and future. Consider the journey through space. Long, quiet, and contemplative, perhaps spanning decades or centuries, depending on the technology of this imagined civilization. Life aboard these arcs would have required careful rhythm, work, study, art, and rest, each activity reinforcing both survival and the continuity of culture. Music might have echoed through corridors, soft and melodic, designed to soothe and remind travelers of their home. Scholars and children alike would study the stars, not just as navigation tools, but as reminders of a universe full of wonder, infinite possibilities, and the promise of discovery. Imagine also the preparations for Earth itself. Martians would have studied the planet meticulously from afar, charting its oceans, its continents, its climate. They may have considered landing zones, regions where water is abundant, soils fertile, and weather predictable. Perhaps some of their early missions were exploratory, small vessels sent ahead to map the land, to ensure that the journey of the main population would have the best chance of success. And now, imagine the landing. The arcs descending gently through the atmosphere, their hulls glowing with friction, parachutes or energy shields controlling speed, till the first footsteps touch Earth's surface. The sensation of a new world, the smell of water and vegetation, the softness of soil beneath feet, the warmth of air rich with oxygen must have been overwhelming. After centuries of survival in Mars' thin atmosphere, this new environment would have seemed like a paradise, a fresh canvas on which to build the next chapter of civilization. Yet, even as they settle, the Martians carry Mars with them. Stones, artifacts, seeds, and knowledge are transported carefully, creating the foundation for a society that blends the lessons of the past with the promise of the future. Temples may have been reconstructed, city plans reimagined, and knowledge archives re-established in the new land. Children would grow up hearing stories not just of Earth, but of Mars, learning to honor their origins while embracing the possibilities of their new home. Pause now and let the scene settle in your mind. Imagine families stepping out onto green fields for the first time, scholars pointing toward the stars, children laughing as they explore rivers and forests. There is a quiet joy, a sense of relief, but also a profound awareness of the responsibility they carry to preserve what was, to honor it, and to nurture what can be. Imagine the first footsteps of Martians on Earth, the soft grass underfoot, the gentle rustle of trees, the sound of flowing water in rivers and streams, all sensations entirely foreign compared to the arid plains of Mars. For the first time in generations, life could thrive in abundance. Every breath of fresh, oxygen-rich air feels like a gift, a reminder that the journey was not in vain. The initial settlements would have been carefully planned. Martians accustomed to precise architecture and the careful management of scarce resources would have approached Earth with meticulous attention. They selected locations near rivers and fertile plains, gently shaping the land without overwhelming it, creating settlements that balanced practicality with beauty. Perhaps they constructed terraces and irrigation systems inspired by Martian techniques, ensuring crops would grow efficiently even in unfamiliar soils. Imagine walking through one of these early settlements. The structures are elegant yet practical. Domed roofs echoing Martian design. Walls etched with symbols recording knowledge and history. Communal spaces where people gather to share food, ideas, and stories. Gardens flourish with both earthly plants and Martian crops, nurtured in harmony with natural cycles. Water channels glisten in the sunlight. It's a quiet reminder of ingenuity applied in a new world now. Consider the emotional atmosphere. There is a gentle mixture of relief and awe. After centuries in a dying environment, Martians finally encounter abundance. Children explore the forests and rivers with wonder, their laughter filling the air. Elders teach lessons learned from Mars' resilience, cooperation, and respect for the delicate balance of nature. Every act of cultivation, every building erected, is an expression of hope and renewal. The integration of Martian knowledge into Earth's environment is profound. Technology and architecture are adapted to local conditions. Climate control systems, water recycling techniques, and energy harnessed from sun and wind allow for sustainable growth. Cities are not imposed upon the landscape. They blend with it, rising gently alongside rivers, hills, and forests. Observation towers track the movement of stars, connecting the new world with memories of Mars and a larger cosmic perspective. Imagine the rhythm of daily life. Families rise with the sun, tending fields, maintaining structures, and teaching the young. Scholars continue their studies of the cosmos, recording observations in meticulous detail. Artisans create objects of beauty, blending Martian styles with earthly materials, celebrating both worlds in form and function. Communities gather for storytelling, music, and reflection, reinforcing bonds and sharing the values carried across space. Even challenges are met with creativity. Earth's climate, though milder than Mars, presents new variables: rain, wind, and seasonal cycles. Martians learn to adapt, constructing shelters that withstand storms, planting crops that thrive in fertile soil, and designing tools suited to a more abundant environment. Their ingenuity ensures that the lessons of Mars, the careful use of resources, the balance between technology and nature continue to shape life on Earth. Consider the emotional resonance of this moment. The long journey through space, the fear of leaving Mars, the uncertainty of arrival all give way to a profound sense of achievement and gratitude. Every planted seed, every constructed home, every shared meal reflects the triumph of survival and the persistence of culture. Even as the past fades into memory, it informs the future, guiding choices and fostering a sense of identity rooted in both worlds. Now, picture the landscape at dusk. Settlements glow softly as the sun dips below distant hills. Rivers reflect the colors of the sky, and forests sway gently in the breeze. People move quietly through the streets, tending to gardens, repairing structures, or pausing to look at the stars. The twin moons of Mars are remembered, their patterns studied and recreated in observatories or through art, a link between the old world and the new. The legacy of Mars is not forgotten. Knowledge is preserved in archives, technology is refined for Earth, and cultural traditions are maintained. Children grow up understanding both their origins and the responsibilities of stewardship in a world that Dichter is staring at. World that Ruby Kiss. Only Ruby Kiss has the luxurious texture. That was my Lester. My leist was my last. My lays. Longs last clays. My last, my laced, salad. My lace, my lays. 7 lays, my lazen may, my lays. You see how we lazen make. I see, my lazes, we sees, my ayat, by a side. I can we're not the bodo as and nice and a li sun secrete a reset. Offers abundance, but demands care. Every act of learning, creating, and building is a continuation of a civilization that once faced near extinction and now has the chance to flourish anew as you listen and imagine. Allow yourself to be soothed by this vision. Feel the calm of Earth's rivers, the warmth of fertile soil, and the quiet joy of life taking root. Let the journey of the Martians remind you that even in the face of loss, resilience, ingenuity, and hope can guide us to new beginnings. Picture Earth centuries after the first Martians have arrived. The initial settlements have grown into clusters of communities, spreading along rivers, fertile plains, and gentle hills. The planet, vibrant and abundant, allows life to flourish. Yet the legacy of Mars is still deeply woven into every corner of these new civilizations. The delicate balance between technology, culture, and nature is evident in the thoughtful layout of towns, the integration of green spaces, and the preservation of water and resources. Imagine walking through one of these early cities. Domed structures rise gently from the land, their design inspired by the arches and towers of Mars. Courtyards bloom with both earthly and Martian plants, while flowing water reflects the soft light of the sun. Paths are meticulously planned, connecting homes, workshops, and communal spaces in a way that encourages both harmony and efficiency. Statues and murals commemorate the journey from Mars, depicting twin moons, the red plains, and the perseverance of those who once called Mars home. The Martians would have shared their knowledge generously, adapting technology for local needs while teaching humans or later generations of Earthlings how to harmonize with their environment. They may have introduced advanced methods of agriculture, irrigation systems, and techniques for managing energy sustainably. Tools originally designed for Mars' harsher conditions found new purpose on Earth, refined for efficiency and longevity. Picture families tending to crops together, blending Martian horticulture with earthly farming techniques. Children grow up learning not only the practicalities of survival, but also the philosophies of their ancestors: curiosity, resilience, and the understanding that every action has consequences for the world around them. Scholars continue to observe the stars, creating maps and charts that connect Mars, Earth, and the wider cosmos, instilling a profound sense of interconnectedness. Now consider the cultural integration. Music, art, and storytelling flourish, blending Martian traditions with earthly inspiration. Soft melodic tunes echo in homes and communal halls, inspired by the twin moons and Martian landscapes. Murals and carvings combine symbols from both worlds, capturing the journey, the challenges, and the triumphs of life. Festivals may celebrate both the arrival on Earth and the memory of Mars, fostering a sense of continuity, community, and identity, even as civilization expands. The Martians maintain a careful balance with the environment. Cities grow thoughtfully, avoiding overexploitation of resources. Forests and rivers are protected, not just for survival, but for the aesthetic and spiritual harmony they provide. Technology serves life rather than dominating it, reflecting the lessons learned from the fragility of Mars. Imagine walking at dusk through one of these early Earth settlements. The sun casts long shadows, painting the streets in warm hues. People move quietly, tending gardens, repairing structures, or observing the skies. Water channels reflect the golden light, and children play near fields of crops and flowering plants. The air carries a faint hum of activity, yet there is calm a sense of rhythm, of life harmonizing with the natural world. The legacy of Mars is not simply practical, it is philosophical. The settlers understand impermanence, the fragility of life, and the necessity of foresight. They document their knowledge, ensuring that future generations will inherit not only tools and techniques, but also the wisdom of experience. Education becomes central. Children learn mathematics, engineering, astronomy, art, and philosophy, all infused with the lessons of Mars. And in quiet moments, perhaps when the twin moons of Mars are recreated in art or remembered in stories, people pause to reflect. They honor the sacrifices and dreams of those who came before, finding inspiration in their resilience and courage. They recognize that even a civilization that leaves its home behind can thrive. Not by conquering a new world, but by listening to it, learning from it, and building in harmony with it. Pause now, and let your mind wander through these flourishing settlements. Feel the gentle warmth of earth, the cool flow of water in rivers, the soft rustle of trees, and the quiet joy of life taking root. Imagine the laughter of children, the hum of daily work, the glow of lamplight in communal spaces, and the subtle echo of Mars in every design. Every tradition, every lesson passed down. Imagine a time when the first Martians, now settled on Earth, begin to encounter human civilizations. Not as invaders, not as conquerors, but as travelers from another world carrying knowledge, traditions, and wisdom that is both familiar and foreign. These early interactions would have been delicate, tentative, and filled with wonder. Picture the scene: a small Martian settlement along a fertile riverbank, its domed buildings glowing softly in the twilight. Nearby, human villages have grown in their own patterns, structures made of wood, stone, and clay. At first, observation is cautious curiosity balanced by the awareness of difference. Martians watch humans work the land, craft tools, and move in rhythms shaped by the natural world. Humans, in turn, notice these newcomers, their strange forms, their unusual architecture, and the intricate designs etched into every building. Now imagine the first encounters. Perhaps children approach one another across the banks of a river, drawn together by a shared curiosity. Elders observe quietly, measuring the intent and temperament of these newcomers. Communication begins, slowly gestures, drawings, shared labor, and eventually words. Martians, experienced in thoughtful observation and patience, understand the importance of building trust. They offer gifts of knowledge, techniques for irrigation, methods of preserving food, and ideas for managing resources efficiently. The emotional atmosphere is profound. Humans may feel awe, even fear, at beings who arrived from the stars. Martians, though technologically advanced and culturally rich, approach with humility, understanding that trust is earned through kindness, consistency, and cooperation. Communities learn from one another, not through domination, but through shared effort. Imagine evenings spent together, Martian families teaching mathematical concepts or astronomy under the stars. Humans showing techniques for animal husbandry, pottery, and weaving. Knowledge flows both ways, blending practical skills with philosophical insight. Consider the impact on daily life. Martian influence might introduce subtle changes at first. Farming methods improve, allowing more reliable harvests. Architecture evolves, incorporating stronger foundations, dome-like structures, or advanced water systems. Cultural rituals may blend, Martian music and art infused with earthly themes. Human celebrations enriched by tales of Martian history and distant planets. The world begins to feel simultaneously familiar and extraordinary. Now, think about education. Children from both species grow up learning from one another. Imagine classrooms lit with natural sunlight filtered through translucent domes. Walls adorned with murals depicting the cosmos, plants. And the journey from Mars, lessons are not only academic, but ethical. The importance of cooperation, respect for nature, and curiosity about the universe. The seeds of a new, integrated civilization are planted, one that values both Earth and Mars, the past and the future. Even the arts flourish. Music merges Martian harmonics with earthly instruments, creating melodies that are simultaneously alien and comforting. Stories are shared, blending myths from both worlds. Theater, dance, and visual arts begin to reflect the dual heritage, celebrating life, resilience, and the vastness of the cosmos. Imagine evenings when entire communities gather to witness these performances under starlit skies, feeling a profound connection to one another and to the universe beyond. Consider also governance and societal organization. Martians, accustomed to structured councils and cooperative decision-making, may offer insights to human leaders. Systems of laws, conflict resolution, and community planning evolve, borrowing from both traditions. Humans contribute their understanding of localized conditions, resource management, and cultural norms. Over time, these interactions give rise to hybrid forms of leadership, blending empathy, efficiency, and foresight. Picture the subtle challenges. Language barriers, cultural misunderstandings, and differing customs could have led to tension. Yet patience, respect, and mutual curiosity allow these barriers to be slowly overcome. Every shared meal, every cooperative project, every successful harvest strengthens bonds. Over generations, differences transform into complementary strengths, allowing both civilizations to flourish in ways neither could have achieved alone. Imagine the emotional resonance of this integration. There is joy, wonder, and cautious excitement. Humans look up at the stars, imagining the distant red planet from which these visitors came. Martians remember Mars their home, its landscapes, its skies, and feel gratitude for the chance to preserve their culture while contributing to a new world. Together, they build not only cities and farms, but also bridges of trust, shared memory, and mutual respect. As you listen and imagine, let this vision settle over you. Picture children running along riverbanks, elders teaching under trees, and communities gathering for music and storytelling. Hear the soft hum of conversation, the gentle clinking of tools, the laughter that bridges species and worlds. Feel the calm, the harmony, and the quiet promise of a civilization reborn through collaboration, empathy, and curiosity. Imagine the generations after the first encounters between Martians and humans. Communities have grown together, and the blending of cultures is beginning to shape the foundations of a new, integrated civilization. The influence of Martian knowledge is subtle yet profound, guiding not only practical advancements but also philosophical understanding, ethical principles, and a sense of connection to the wider cosmos. Picture a Martian scholar teaching Earthborn children how to read the stars. Under a sky painted with countless constellations, they trace the movements of planets, charting the heavens with instruments adapted from Martian designs. Through these lessons, young minds not only learn astronomy, but also develop curiosity, patience, and a deep sense of wonder. They begin to see Earth not as an isolated world, but as a living part of a larger, interconnected universe. Now, imagine innovations in agriculture. Martians share methods for sustainable irrigation, soil enrichment, and crop rotation, ensuring that communities can thrive without overexploiting resources. Terraced fields and carefully managed water channels appear across plains and riverbanks, increasing yields while maintaining harmony with natural landscapes. Human farmers adapt these techniques, blending them with local knowledge. And together, they create systems that are efficient, resilient, and in tune with the environment. Architecture. 2. Transforms. Martian design principles geometrical precision, energy efficiency, and adaptability to environmental conditions merge with local building materials and techniques. Domed structures rise beside traditional earth dwellings, using both stone and clay, wood and reinforced composites. Public spaces, schools, and communal halls are designed to foster learning, collaboration, and cultural exchange. The landscape becomes a living testament to the harmony between ingenuity and nature. Imagine daily life in these growing settlements. Children play among gardens carefully planted with both earthly and Martian flora. Scholars and artisans work side by side, crafting tools, instruments, and art. Music flows through the streets, blending Martian harmonics with earthly instruments, producing melodies that feel both familiar and ethereal. Festivals celebrate both Martian origins and earthly seasons, honoring the past while embracing the present. Philosophy and ethics are also influenced. Martians emphasize foresight, cooperation, and respect for the balance of life. Humans contribute traditions of storytelling, communal responsibility, and adaptability. Together, they cultivate a moral framework that values knowledge, empathy, and harmony with the world. Children learn not only how to survive and build, but also how to think critically, appreciate beauty, and act responsibly within their communities. Now, consider the long-term impact on society. Science and art flourish hand in hand. Observation of the stars leads to innovations in navigation, calendar systems, and understanding natural cycles. Art becomes both reflective and instructional, depicting cosmic events, histories of migration, and the blending of cultures. Communities learn to value not only material progress, but also intellectual and emotional growth. Understanding that civilization is measured by both survival and wisdom, even small, quiet interactions carry significance. A shared meal, a collaborative project, or a simple conversation between Martian and human neighbors fosters understanding, trust, and shared identity. Over time, these interactions accumulate, shaping a society that is resilient, innovative, and deeply interconnected. Imagine walking through these communities, the gentle hum of activity, the laughter of children, the soft glow of lanterns illuminating workshops, classrooms, and gardens. Every element reflects a careful balance between heritage, adaptation, and aspiration. The emotional resonance is profound. Humans marvel at the vast knowledge and advanced philosophy of their Martian neighbors. Martians feel gratitude for the warmth, creativity, and adaptability of humans. Together, they build not just settlements, but a culture infused with shared values, curiosity, and respect for both worlds. This mutual influence creates a civilization that is both grounded in its new home and mindful of its cosmic origins. Pause now and imagine the quiet beauty of these integrated communities. Feel the calm rhythm of life, the flow of water in canals, the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft hum of work and learning. Hear the blending of music, the whispers of stories, and the laughter of children exploring gardens and forests. Let the thought of cultures merging with curiosity and respect settle into your mind, fostering a sense of calm, wonder, and continuity. Picture Earth centuries after the first Martians have settled. Their influence is no longer subtle, it is woven into the very fabric of human society. Cities, technologies, philosophies, and arts reflect a harmonious blending of Martian insight and human creativity. The world is richer, not just materially, but culturally and intellectually, with traditions, knowledge, and wisdom passed down through generations. Imagine a sprawling city where Martian domes rise above tree-lined avenues, seamlessly blending with human-style buildings. Water flows through channels inspired by Martian engineering, nourishing both gardens and fields. The rhythm of daily life is calm and balanced. People rise with the sun, tending to gardens, learning in communal halls, creating art, and observing the skies. Children, born into this shared civilization, grow up immersed in a world that teaches both curiosity and care. Consider the arts. Music, now a profound blend of Martian harmonics and human instruments, flows through city squares during evening gatherings. Paintings and sculptures celebrate both earthly landscapes and Martian origins. Festivals honor the journey from Mars, the achievements of humanity, and the bonds that unite these once separated civilizations. Through art, memory, and storytelling, every individual feels connected to both worlds. Understanding that their culture is enriched by shared history and wisdom, education is central to this society. Schools teach both practical skills and philosophical understanding, blending Martian logic with human experience. Astronomy, mathematics, biology, engineering, and ethics are integrated seamlessly, encouraging students to see patterns in nature, technology, and society. Children learn not just how to survive, but how to thrive, how to create, and how to contemplate their place in the universe. The cosmos is no longer a distant mystery-yacht, is a shared home of knowledge, curiosity, and wonder. Imagine the emotional tone of daily life. There is a profound sense of calm, respect, and mutual understanding. Humans marvel at the ingenuity of Martian ancestors, while Martians appreciate the resilience, adaptability, and warmth of humans. Communities celebrate collaboration, teaching the value of empathy, foresight, and thoughtful stewardship of resources. Life is lived with intention, joy, and reverence for both past and present. Now, picture technological advancement. Martian-inspired innovations, energy systems, water management. Architectural designs are adapted to local conditions, refined over generations. Transportation, communication, and infrastructure are designed to harmonize with the environment. Yet, even as technology advances, it never overwhelms life. It serves humanity, fostering a society that is both sophisticated and grounded in natural balance. Consider philosophy and ethics. The shared civilization teaches that knowledge alone is not enough. Wisdom comes from understanding the consequences of action, nurturing relationships, and respecting both life and the environment. Storytelling, music, and ritual reinforce these principles, ensuring that every generation carries forward not only the tools of survival, but the values that sustain civilization itself. Now, visualize a night scene. Communities glow softly under the stars. Rivers shimmer in the moonlight, reflecting the quiet movement of people tending gardens or gathering in communal halls. The twin moons of Mars are remembered in art and legend, a symbol of resilience, curiosity, and the eternal connection between past and present. Children lie on grassy fields, gazing upward, imagining distant worlds, and dreaming of discovery. The integration of Martian and human knowledge transforms Earth into a world of balance and wonder. Agriculture, architecture, education, and culture all reflect lessons learned from Mars, adapted to Earth's unique conditions. Yet the essence of life, community, curiosity, empathy, and imagination remains universal. Every building, river, forest, and field tells a story of collaboration, adaptation, and the beauty of shared history. Pause now and let this vision settle in your mind. Feel the gentle calm of rivers, the soft rustle of trees, the quiet hum of life in streets and fields. Hear music echoing softly, laughter mingling with conversation, and the gentle whispers of stories shared under starlit skies. Allow yourself to be soothed by the thought of civilizations merging through curiosity, respect, and a shared love of life. Close your eyes and imagine Earth from above, its mountains, rivers, oceans, mountains, and forests stretching out like a living, breathing mosaic. Beneath the familiar landscapes, mysteries are waiting to be discovered, patterns, symbols, and remnants that may hint at connections to Mars, a forgotten chapter in the story of life itself. As you listen, allow your mind to wander gently, exploring the subtle secrets woven into the planet's surface and history. Imagine ancient structures, pyramids rising from deserts, circular stone arrangements in distant lands, and monuments aligned precisely with celestial bodies. Could these architectural marvels reflect not only human ingenuity, but also lessons or memories carried by Martians who once walked these lands? The possibility is subtle, almost like a whisper in the wind, yet it invites curiosity and wonder. Each alignment, every carefully placed stone, becomes a potential clue to a civilization that sought to preserve knowledge across worlds. Now, picture yourself walking along a quiet valley, the sunlight filtering through a canopy of trees. Beneath your feet, the soil contains minerals and formations that seem unusual, hints of geological activity that might echo conditions found on Mars. Perhaps Martian settlers once experimented here, introducing subtle markers of their presence. or observing the planet's unique characteristics to understand how life could flourish. Every rock, every layer of sediment, holds a story waiting to be read. Consider the rivers, lakes, and seas. Water has always been a source of life, and its movement shapes the world in profound ways. Could some of Earth's river paths, meandering yet precise, mirror the careful engineering of Martian settlements? The idea is not one of intrusion, but of subtle guidance and echo of planning, a reflection of knowledge applied across worlds. As you visualize this, let yourself feel the gentle flow of water, the calming rhythm of life, and the hidden intelligence that guides it. Even in the skies, there are subtle hints, constellations, celestial alignments, and recurring astronomical patterns may have influenced both Martian and human understanding. Ancient observatories, whether on hilltops, mountains, or plains, may have been designed to record the stars with precision, connecting Earth to Mars in a shared language of observation. Imagine scholars of both worlds, separated by generations yet united in curiosity, gazing upward at the same night sky, tracing movements of planets and stars, discovering patterns that transcend time and space. Now, think about Earth's magnetic fields and geological anomalies. Certain regions carry unusual magnetic signatures, mysterious formations, or traces of elements uncommon to the surrounding environment. Could these have been shaped by advanced experimentation, early settlement structures, or even remnants of Martian technology adapted to Earth's conditions? The evidence is subtle, almost imperceptible, but it evokes the idea of a hidden legacy woven into the planet itself. Consider the role of myths and legends. Across cultures, stories speak of beings from the stars, gifts of knowledge, and lessons in wisdom. Could these narratives, passed down through generations, be echoes of Martian influence? Each tale, though transformed by human imagination, may contain fragments of truth memories of encounters, migrations, and teachings that shaped early civilizations. As you listen, allow yourself to imagine these stories as threads connecting to worlds, carrying lessons of curiosity, resilience, and ingenuity. Now, imagine the flora and fauna of Earth. Are there subtle anomalies, peculiar traits, or unique adaptations that might hint at experimentation or influence from a civilization familiar with Mars? Plants that thrive in unusual soils, animals with remarkable resilience, ecosystems that balance in unexpected ways could be seen as a testament to subtle, guiding hands that nurtured life across worlds. Allow your mind to drift through forests, meadows, and wetlands, observing life in its quiet, intricate harmony. Even the deepest oceans hold secrets. Submerged formations, unusual mineral deposits, and long-forgotten structures may hint at connections long obscured by time. Could ancient Martians have explored these waters, leaving traces for future generations to uncover? The mysteries are gentle, not alarming, inviting curiosity rather than fear. Let yourself imagine gliding through calm ocean depths, witnessing hidden landscapes shaped by both nature and a civilization now lost to memory. Finally, think about the passage of time. Layers of sediment, fossilized life, and geological shifts all preserve subtle memories of Earth's past. Martian settlers, with their awareness of planetary history and cosmic cycles, may have left marker-stein clues, patterns, or encoded knowledge designed to guide those who would come later. Every fossil, every striation in rock becomes a potential message from the past, a whisper reminding us that life, knowledge, and curiosity can transcend worlds. Imagine walking across the vast plains of Egypt, the warm sunlight falling softly on the sands. The pyramids rise before you, precise, towering, and mysterious. Their alignment with the stars is almost perfect, and the sheer scale evokes awe. Could these monuments reflect more than human ingenuity? Might they echo knowledge from another world? Techniques passed down from Martian settlers who understood geometry, astronomy, and the careful manipulation of natural materials. As you picture this, let your mind relax into the rhythm of the sands. the quiet patience of construction, and the gentle unfolding of history. Now, travel in your imagination to Stonehenge in the misty fields of England. Massive stones, arranged in precise circles, align with solstices and lunar patterns. The intention behind these alignments suggests a sophisticated understanding of celestial cycles. Could Martian knowledge have subtly guided early humans in observing the sky? Perhaps this ancient site served as both a calendar and a teaching tool, helping generations mark time, understand seasons, and reflect on their place within the cosmos. Let the quiet mystery of the stones settle in your mind, a soft echo of curiosity and wonder. Picture the Nazca lines in the deserts of South America. Vast drawings etched into the earth, visible primarily from above. Animals, geometric shapes, and flowing patterns stretch across miles of land. Could these elaborate designs be a way of communicating with the skies? Inspired by Martian ways of recording information across large spaces? Imagine the careful, meditative work of creating these lines, the dedication and vision required, and the sense of connection to something far beyond the immediate landscape. Feel the calm, patience, and focus of this ancient artistry. Consider also the pyramids of Mesoamerica. Like those at Teotihuacan and Chichen Itza, their precise layouts, astronomical alignments, and architectural sophistication hint at a knowledge system that blends observation, mathematics, and design. Could Martian settlers, observing and advising early humans, have influenced these developments? Imagine scholars, builders, and artists working together, integrating lessons from Mars with local traditions, creating monuments that reflect both the Earth and the heavens. Now, think about geological anomalies, such as mysterious formations or unusual mineral deposits. Some regions of Earth carry signatures that are difficult to explain solely through natural processes. Could early Martian settlers have experimented with materials, subtly modifying landscapes to test resilience, fertility, or energy flow? Imagine exploring these quiet corners of the world, tracing patterns in rock, mineral veins, and subterranean formations. Each step uncovers a story, a trace of knowledge preserved across time. Even ancient tools and artifacts offer hints. Consider intricate metalwork, precise carvings, or stone tools with unusual properties. Could these reflect techniques or understanding imparted by Martians, refined over generations, blending with human skill and creativity? Picture artisans at work, the steady rhythm of hand-shaping materials, guided by knowledge both earthly and alien. The calm focus, the careful attention to detail, evokes a sense of connection across space and time. Now, imagine underwater mysteries, sunken structures, unusual geological formations, and submerged patterns suggest that the oceans, too, may hold memories of Martian influence. Imagine diving gently through calm waters, exploring forgotten ruins, ancient docks, or hidden caverns. The soft sway of currents, the glimmer of sunlight filtering through the water, and the quiet hum of life create a serene environment, inviting contemplation of Earth's hidden history. Even myths and oral traditions preserve subtle hints. Across cultures, stories of beings from the stars, gifts of knowledge, or sudden leaps in understanding may carry echoes of Martian guidance. These narratives passed down for generations often blend imagination with memory, teaching values, inspiring curiosity, and preserving wisdom. Picture communities gathered around fires, listening to elders recount these tales, children's eyes wide with wonder. The soft crackle of flames accompanying lessons in resilience, curiosity, and ethics. Consider the forests, plains, and mountains. Certain trees, plants, or ecological patterns may reflect careful stewardship influenced by advanced knowledge. Martians, aware of ecological balance, could have guided early humans in planting, managing water, or observing cycles, helping life flourish sustainably. Picture walking through these landscapes, the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft scent of earth and flora, and the quiet interconnectedness of all living things. Finally, imagine the passage of time. Layers of history, sediment, and civilization accumulate, preserving subtle patterns, knowledge, and reminders of journeys from Mars. Every artifact, structure, and tradition carries fragments of wisdom, echoing across generations. As you let your mind drift through these ancient mysteries, allow a sense of calm curiosity to settle over you, a recognition that the world is layered, rich, and waiting to be understood, slowly and gently, like a story unfolding in the quiet of night. Pause now and let these images rest in your mind. Feel the warmth of sunlit plains, the mist over stones, the gentle sway of ocean currents, and the soft hum of life in forests and cities. Imagine the calm curiosity that bridges worlds, connecting Mars and Earth, past and present, knowledge and wonder. Allow this vision to settle as you relax into the gentle rhythm of discovery, reflection, and the quiet serenity of hidden secrets waiting to be understood. Imagine the passage of centuries, where Earth's civilizations grow, evolve, and expand. The subtle traces of Martian influence are no longer just whispers in ancient stones or myths. They ripple through culture, technology, and philosophy. This influence is quiet yet profound, shaping how humans understand their world and their place in the cosmos. As you listen, let yourself drift into the slow rhythm of time, feeling the calm continuity of knowledge and discovery. Picture scholars in ancient libraries, their hands tracing scrolls, charts, and maps. Among human achievements, hints of Martian wisdom are interwoven. Mathematical techniques, celestial observations, and principles of sustainable living. These early records, carefully preserved, influence the development of agriculture, architecture, and navigation. Martian insight, transmitted subtly through generations, becomes a foundation upon which civilizations can build, quietly guiding human progress. Now, imagine explorers traveling across deserts, mountains, and oceans. They encounter ancient monuments and geological anomalies, tracing patterns that suggest knowledge beyond ordinary human experience. Could the alignment of pyramids, the precision of megaliths, or the careful placement of sacred sites reflect a guiding hand from the stars? These explorers, whether conscious or not of the Martian connection, inherit a legacy that deepens their understanding of the natural and cosmic world. Consider the development of philosophy and ethics. Martian teachings, emphasizing observation, harmony, and foresight, blend with human traditions of storytelling, morality, and civic responsibility. Thinkers and leaders, influenced by this combined wisdom, cultivate societies that value knowledge, empathy, and balance. Imagine evening gatherings where families discuss the night sky, not only recounting myths, but contemplating the lessons of observation, cooperation, and curiosity that have been passed down for generations. Technology, too, evolves under these subtle influences. Early innovations in water management, metallurgy, and construction, inspired by Martian principles, allow human societies to thrive even in challenging environments. Over centuries, this knowledge adapts, merging with local techniques and materials, leading to cities that are resilient, sustainable, and harmonious with nature. Picture quiet streets lined with buildings designed to maximize light, air, and energy efficiency, a testament to generations of learning, observation, and collaboration. Even the arts reflect this shared heritage. Music, painting, and sculpture combine earthly imagination with Martian precision and symbolism. Imagine soft melodies echoing through temple halls or murals depicting cosmic cycles and planetary journeys. These works are not only beautiful, they carry memory, wisdom, and connection, teaching children and adults alike to see the world with wonder, patience, and curiosity. Now think about the role of exploration. Humanity's fascination with the stars, its voyages into the unknown, may be partially inspired by stories of Martian settlers and the subtle knowledge they left behind. Astronomers chart the heavens, navigators follow precise celestial cues, and dreamers imagine distant worlds. Each act of discovery, no matter how small, is a continuation of a conversation that began long ago between two worlds. Let your mind drift among these explorers, feeling the calm excitement of curiosity, tempered by reflection and patience. Even modern civilization carries echoes of this connection. Patterns in architecture, mathematical principles, agricultural techniques, and philosophical ideas may all contain fragments of Martian guidance. Scientific inquiry, artistic expression, and ethical frameworks reflect a lineage of knowledge that bridges worlds. Picture laboratories, studios, and classrooms where humans study the stars, analyze ancient monuments, and seek understanding of both life and the cosmos. Each discovery is a quiet continuation of a story that began thousands of years ago. Consider the subtle emotional resonance. Humans, even unknowingly, feel a connection to something greater, understanding that their knowledge, creativity, and curiosity are part of a larger pattern. Martian influence, woven into the fabric of civilization, nurtures patience, observation, and respect for life. Communities learn to thrive not only through technology, but through empathy, foresight, and shared memory. This enduring connection reminds us that even small, gentle influences can shape the course of generations. Finally, imagine the present moment where you listen to this story. Feel the calm of rivers, the quiet hum of cities, the gentle sway of trees in the wind. Picture hidden patterns beneath the Earth's surface, the subtle echoes of Martian influence in the stars above, and the continuity of knowledge passing through centuries. Let yourself relax, imagining the calm harmony of civilizations growing, learning, and discovering together across worlds. As we continue our journey through the possibilities of a Martian civilization preceding Earth, it is important to pause and explore the lens of scientific skepticism. Imagine yourself seated in a quiet study, the soft glow of candlelight illuminating bookshelves filled with texts on astronomy, geology, and anthropology. Outside, the night is calm, the stars glimmering steadily. In this space, curiosity meets careful reasoning, and imagination is tempered by critical thought. Skepticism is not a dismissal of wonder. Rather, it is a commitment to evidence, logic, and careful inquiry. Scientists ask questions. What can we verify? What patterns can we measure? How do we distinguish coincidence from causation? In the context of Martian influence on Earth, skeptics urge us to examine each claim critically, considering alternative explanations, natural processes, and human ingenuity. Picture a researcher carefully tracing ancient stone alignments, measuring astronomical correlations, and cross-referencing historical records, their mind attentive yet open. Like a calm observer of the world. Consider geology. Many patterns on Earth, from unusual formations to mineral deposits, might seem suggestive of intelligent intervention. Yet the Earth is dynamic. Volcanoes, erosion, tectonic shifts, and sedimentary layering create complex landscapes that can mimic intentional design. Scientists emphasize that natural processes can produce patterns that appear extraordinary but are entirely natural. Imagine walking through layered canyons or mineral-rich plains, feeling the texture of rocks under your fingers, sensing both their beauty and their natural origins. The wonder of the Earth is undiminished, even when explained by natural forces. Now, think about archaeology. Structures such as pyramids, megaliths, and ceremonial sites often inspire speculation about extraterrestrial influence. Skeptics point out that human societies are capable of incredible feats of engineering, organization, and artistry, using only the resources available to them. Picture the painstaking work of ancient builders, moving stones, designing alignments, and observing celestial cycles with nothing more than basic tools, ingenuity, and collaboration. The patience and creativity of humans alone can account for many mysteries. Astronomy, too, offers a careful perspective. Alignments of monuments with stars, solstices, and planetary positions are often cited as evidence of advanced knowledge. Yet many alignments can be explained through careful observation, repeated trial and error, and a deep cultural understanding of the sky. Ancient peoples spent generations observing patterns, charting celestial movement, and building structures to reflect this knowledge. Imagine astronomers, both ancient and modern, tracing constellations, mapping movements, and discovering patterns. All human achievements guided by curiosity and careful observation. Consider myths and legends. Stories of beings from the stars, gifts of knowledge, or sudden technological leaps may hint at past encounters. Skeptics suggest that myths are shaped by imagination, cultural exchange, and human memory, rather than literal accounts of extraterrestrial visitation. Yet even within these narratives, there is beauty and insight, lessons on ethics, community, and survival that reflect the universality of human experience. Picture families gathered by a fire, sharing tales that spark curiosity and wonder, while understanding their metaphorical rather than literal meaning. Now, turn your attention to the tools and artifacts that inspire speculation. Intricate carvings, metalwork, or unusual materials are sometimes cited as evidence of Martian guidance. Skeptics encourage us to examine the materials, methods, and context carefully. What is possible using known technologies, how techniques evolved, and how skill and innovation can explain extraordinary results. Imagine an artisan shaping metal with patient precision, guided by knowledge passed down through generations. Process as wondrous and impressive as any hypothetical. Martian influence. Even when considering the possibility of Martian influence, scientists remind us of Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is often the most likely. Human ingenuity, resourcefulness, and cultural evolution frequently provide plausible answers to mysteries that might otherwise seem inexplicable. Imagine standing in an ancient city, observing the work of generations, the buildings, tools, and are tall products of human imagination and skill, remarkable in their own right. Yet, skepticism does not extinguish curiosity, guides it. Scientists encourage exploration, measurement, and experimentation, fostering deeper understanding rather than blind dismissal. Imagine researchers carefully surveying ruins, analyzing sediments, and recording observations under the calm light of day or the twinkling of stars at night. Each measurement, observation, and hypothesis contributes to a growing tapestry of knowledge, blending reason with wonder. Finally, consider the emotional effect of this approach. Skepticism fosters humility, patience, and reflection. By examining evidence critically and thoughtfully, we learn to appreciate both the mysteries and the explanations behind them. We cultivate a mindset that balances imagination with reason, curiosity with restraint, and wonder with understanding. As you reflect on this, allow yourself to feel calm and grounded, appreciating the harmony of critical thought and imaginative exploration. Pause now and let these ideas settle in your mind. Picture quiet research halls, sunlit ruins, and starlit skies. Feel the gentle rhythm of inquiry, the calm satisfaction of exploring mysteries with patience and care. Allow your curiosity to drift freely, knowing that wonder and skepticism can coexist, guiding the mind toward understanding while preserving the awe of the unknown. Imagine yourself standing on a quiet hill, overlooking an ancient city. The wind brushes gently across your face, and the sun dips low, casting long shadows over stone streets and monumental structures. From this vantage point, it's easy to wonder whether such architectural marvels could have been influenced by beings from another world. Yet scientific inquiry invites us to explore alternative explanations, grounding wonder in evidence while maintaining curiosity. Consider the pyramids of Egypt. Some speculate that their precision and scale hint at Martian guidance. Skeptics, however, note that these structures reflect the culmination of human experience, trial, and ingenuity. Generations of builders experimented with techniques using simple tools, ramps, and careful measurement. The alignment with celestial bodies, while remarkable, can be explained through careful observation and repeated trial over decades. Picture the steady rhythm of workers moving stones, the patience required, and the gradual mastery of technique that allowed such monumental achievements. The marvel lies not in alien intervention, but in the remarkable persistence and skill of humans. Now, turn your attention to the Nazca lines from the ground. These enormous figures are difficult to interpret, leading to speculation about extraterrestrial influence. Yet archaeologists suggest that these lines could have served ceremonial or astronomical purposes for the communities that created them. Simple tools, ropes, and stakes, combined with careful planning and a deep understanding of the landscape, were sufficient to produce these massive designs. Imagine the creators walking patiently along the desert floor, marking paths, observing angles, and working with a natural environment. The wonder is in their ingenuity and vision. Rather than a Martian hand guiding them, consider Stonehenge standing stoically amidst misty fields. Some propose extraterrestrial involvement due to the weight of the stones and the astronomical alignments. Skeptics highlight the advanced knowledge of prehistoric humans, who could transport massive stones using logs, sledges, and water lubrication. The alignment with solstices and lunar cycles reflects careful observation over generations rather than alien instruction. Picture ancient communities, observing the movement of the sun and moon, recording patterns, and building structures that harmonize with celestial cycles. All human achievement. Quietly astonishing. Geology also provides alternative perspectives. Mineral anomalies, unusual formations, or patterns in sediment layers may initially seem suggestive of intervention, but Earth's natural processes are powerful and complex. Volcanic activity, erosion, tectonic shifts, and sedimentation can create intricate formations that resemble intentional design. Imagine walking along a canyon, tracing the layers of rock, feeling the texture and weight beneath your hands. Each stratum tells a story of pressure, heat, water, and man, extraordinary narrative crafted entirely by nature. Even myths and legends, which sometimes hint at extraterrestrial influence, can be explained through cultural evolution. Stories of beings from the stars, gifts of knowledge, or extraordinary events may originate from metaphor, imagination, and memory, shaped over generations. Consider a family gathered around a fire, the elder recounting tales to curious children. These narratives inspire wonder and ethical reflection, while simultaneously reflecting the human tendency to explain the world through story. The magic is in the imagination, in the lessons embedded in the narrative. Rather than in literal alien involvement, astronomical observations offer another grounded perspective. Alignments between monuments and stars are impressive, yet human ingenuity and careful observation can account for these patterns. Early civilizations were keen observers of the sky, charting movements of stars, planets, and the sun. They used these observations to develop calendars, predict seasons, and guide agriculture. Imagine generations of watchful astronomers noting patterns, marking solstices, and passing knowledge to the next, creating a legacy of skywatching that spans centuries. All human, deliberate, and methodical. Even technological innovations, such as precise metalwork or complex structures, can be explained by cumulative human knowledge. Skills are honed over time, techniques are refined, and cultural exchange spreads innovation. Consider an artisan shaping metal, stone, or wood. Every stroke, every measured action reflects patience, learning, and creativity. The elegance of these results speaks to human ingenuity, rather than extraterrestrial instruction. The beauty of these alternative explanations is that they do not diminish the wonder of the world. On the contrary, They highlight human resilience, creativity, and curiosity. The Earth's landscapes, monuments, and cultural achievements are remarkable precisely because they are human creations, shaped over millennia through observation, experimentation, and imagination. Picture walking through ancient ruins, touching the stones, feeling the craftsmanship and care, and appreciating the quiet ingenuity that allowed civilizations to thrive. Finally, consider the emotional and intellectual effect of this approach. Skepticism encourages humility, patience, and reflection. By exploring alternative explanations, we learn to appreciate both the mysteries and the capacities of human civilizations. Curiosity is not stifled, is guided. Wonder can coexist with evidence, imagination can flourish alongside reason, and awe can emerge from human accomplishment as much as from the unknown. Pause now and let these thoughts settle. Picture quiet, ancient cities, sunlit deserts, misty stone circles, and layered canyons. Feel the gentle rhythm of human achievement across centuries, the calm satisfaction of discovery, and the quiet reverence for what humans, through patience and skill, can accomplish. Allow your mind to rest in the harmony between curiosity, skepticism, and the serene understanding of Earth's wonders. Imagine sitting quietly under a vast night sky, the stars twinkling softly above. The air is calm, the world hushed, and your mind open. Here, we explore the delicate balance between curiosity and skepticism, the harmony of wonder and evidence. In this serene space, we can consider the possibility of Martian influence while honoring the rigorous methods that help us understand our world. Skepticism encourages us to ask questions, which claims are supported by evidence. How can we distinguish imagination from fact? Yet curiosity invites us to ponder the unknown, to explore what-if scenarios, and to marvel at the complexity of the universe. Imagine your mind as a gentle observer, tracing the paths of stars, the layers of Earth, and the patterns of ancient monuments. Each observation is a step in a dance between inquiry and imagination. Consider the pyramids once more. Skeptics remind us that these structures can be explained through human innovation, careful measurement, and societal organization. Yet the mere possibility that knowledge from another world could have inspired early humans stirs wonder. Picture a quiet desert, the sun casting long shadows over stone, and feel the awe of generations who designed, built, and preserved these monuments. In this blend of reason and imagination, both perspectives coexist peacefully. Think of myths and legends again. Scientific analysis can reveal their metaphorical roots, cultural evolution, and human creativity. But simultaneously, imagining that these stories carry subtle echoes of cosmic influence adds layers of fascination. Picture a family listening to a star tale, the firelight flickering on eager faces. Wonder and critical thinking merge, offering a richer, more nuanced experience of history and storytelling. Even geological anomalies can be appreciated in this dual perspective. While natural processes explain patterns in rock formations, imagining the possibility of subtle guidance or experimentation adds a layer of poetic reflection. Stand quietly in a canyon, feel the textures under your fingertips, and consider the forces that shaped it over eons. Now, gently let your imagination wander to the notion that these formations might also be part of a cosmic dialogue. Without needing evidence to feel the awe of possibility, in archaeology, the precision of ancient structures and tools demonstrates human ingenuity. Yet imagining a faint, guiding inspiration from Martian visitors or advanced civilizations elsewhere in the cosmos sparks creativity. It reminds us that exploration is not only about uncovering facts, but also about expanding the boundaries of thought. Picture artisans and builders across generations. Their quiet work connecting past, present, and speculative futures in a tapestry of achievement and imagination. Astronomical observation perfectly illustrates this balance. Early humans meticulously charted stars and planets, creating calendars and guidance systems entirely on their own. Yet pondering a shared celestial language with Martian civilization's tracing patterns across worlds invites gentle wonder. Imagine generations of astronomers, human and hypothetical Martian alike, gazing at the night sky with awe, tracing trajectories and discovering cosmic patterns. The universe becomes a canvas for both reason and imagination. Science and wonder are not adversaries. Evidence, measurement, and critical thinking provide grounding, while curiosity, storytelling, and speculation enliven the mind. Together, they create a holistic approach to understanding. Picture a calm evening where you trace constellations, touch ancient stones, and imagine worlds beyond your own all at once. Feel the serenity of intellectual humility combined with imaginative freedom. Even the simplest observation of trees, rivers, mountains, or stars can inspire both awe and reasoning. Notice the rhythm of life, the interconnection of ecosystems, and the elegance of natural processes. Now, let your imagination consider hidden messages, subtle guidance, or cosmic echoes within these patterns. Relax into this coexistence of logic and imagination, where questions are as valuable as answers, and wonder thrives alongside skepticism. Finally, allow this synthesis to settle in your mind. Feel the gentle balance of curiosity and reason, the calm pleasure of exploration tempered by thoughtful analysis. Know that it is possible to imagine a Martian connection to Earth while respecting human ingenuity, to marvel at cosmic patterns while valuing evidence, and to sleep with both awe and understanding cradling your thoughts. Pause now and let this dual perspective linger. Picture quiet landscapes, soft starlight, ancient monuments, and flowing rivers. Feel the gentle rhythm of reflection and imagination, the serene balance between curiosity and evidence. Allow your mind to rest in the calm knowledge that wonder and skepticism can coexist. Guiding exploration, inspiring thought, and fostering peace. Imagine lying on a quiet hill at twilight, the sky painted with the deep hues of evening. The first stars begin to sparkle, distant and eternal, calling to the curiosity within you. As you breathe gently, let your mind drift toward the future shaped by exploration, discovery, and the possibility of connections beyond Earth. This chapter invites you to consider the paths humanity may take in understanding both Mars and our own world. Blending calm reflection with gentle wonder. Picture the red plains of Mars. Quiet now, scarred by time, yet holding secrets beneath its surface. Robotic explorers have already begun to unlock fragments of its history, sending whispers back to Earth through soft streams of data. Imagine standing beside these machines, watching dust swirl in the gentle Martian breeze, feeling the quiet vastness of a landscape both alien and strangely familiar. Even from a distance, Mars teaches patience, observation, and reverence for the unknown. Consider human explorers venturing further, one step at a time. Each mission is carefully planned, blending science, engineering, and intuition. These pioneers will not rush but move deliberately, learning from every discovery. Picture astronauts tracing the edges of ancient craters, scanning the horizon for signs of past civilizations, and uncovering traces of minerals, water, and possible life. The silence around them is profound, broken only by the soft hum of instruments and the occasional wind stirring the fine dust. This quiet fosters reflection, awareness, and a sense of profound connection to history, both human and Martian now. Let your imagination drift toward collaboration. What if Mars mysteries are not just scientific puzzles, but invitations to rethink how we approach knowledge on Earth? Picture researchers, artists, engineers, and philosophers working together, integrating lessons from distant worlds with insights from our own planet. The future of exploration is not just technical light, is human. Imagine brainstorming sessions under soft lights, discussions filled with curiosity and respect, and gentle laughter as new ideas emerge. These moments remind us that the journey of discovery is as much about people as it is about planets. Think also of the technologies that may guide us: autonomous rovers, advanced imaging systems, and AI-driven analysis could reveal hidden structures, geological patterns, and subtle anomalies on Mars. Picture these machines moving carefully across the terrain, their sensors capturing details invisible to the naked eye, translating data into images and models that unravel mysteries layer by layer. Even in their precision, there is beauty of quiet, mechanical elegance that complements human curiosity. Consider the lessons for Earth. By exploring Mars, we refine our understanding of planetary systems, climate, and ecosystems. The red planet becomes a mirror, reflecting both the fragility and resilience of life. Imagine a scientist standing at a Martian outpost, observing dust storms, ancient riverbeds, and sediment layers. Each observation whispers a message. What we learn about another world deepens our comprehension of our own. The calm repetition of study, observation, and reflection is soothing. Rhythmic, almost meditative dot. Now picture humanity dreaming even further. Could knowledge gained from Mars influence architecture, energy systems, or sustainable living on Earth? Imagine cities designed with lessons from both planets, where resource management, ecological balance, and harmony with natural forces guide every decision. Walking through these cities, one feels a profound calm, a sense that human ingenuity is aligned with planetary wisdom. The imagination of tomorrow gently tugs at your mind, encouraging reflection and quiet anticipation. Even philosophical inquiry evolves alongside exploration. Mars challenges us to ask questions about life, intelligence, and continuity. Are we alone in the cosmos? Could traces of past civilizations, whether Martian or otherwise, teach us about resilience, creativity, and adaptation? Picture yourself meditating beneath a starlit sky, contemplating the vast possibilities. The stillness around you encourages deep thought, while the gentle twinkle of distant stars nurtures a sense of connection to the universe. Consider the role of storytelling in this journey. As we explore new horizons, we create narratives that guide imagination, ethics, and curiosity. Imagine children and adults alike listening to tales of Martian landscapes, ancient civilizations, and daring explorers. These stories, told with care and calm, inspire reflection, empathy, and wonder. They serve as bridges between science and imagination, connecting generations across time and space. Finally, allow your mind to settle on the concept of ongoing discovery. The future is not a single destination, but a series of paths, each gently unfolding with new possibilities. Feel the quiet rhythm of exploration, the slow unveiling of knowledge, the patient decoding of mysteries, and the serene satisfaction of learning. As you breathe in, imagine standing on the edge of a Martian cliff. As you exhale, feel the calm certainty that every step taken in curiosity, observation, and reflection brings you closer to understanding. Pause now and let these visions rest. Picture the soft glow of distant stars, the red plains of Mars stretching silently, and the quiet hum of research and contemplation. Feel the gentle rhythm of progress, discovery, and imagination intertwined. Allow your mind to relax into this serene perspective, where curiosity guides gently, evidence grounds calmly, and the horizon of exploration stretches endlessly before you. Imagine yourself seated in a softly lit observatory. The quiet hum of instruments around you as you gaze at the glowing red dot of Mars in the night sky. The world outside is calm, and inside, your mind drifts gently, open to the future and the unfolding story of exploration. In this part, we explore the missions, tools, and innovations that may guide humanity toward new understanding. While nurturing a sense of wonder and reflection, consider robotic explorers. the silent pioneers of interplanetary study. Rovers such as Perseverance and its successors move deliberately across Martian plains, capturing images, analyzing soil, and detecting chemical traces of past life. Picture the soft mechanical whir of their wheels against the dusty terrain, the careful precision of instruments scanning rock layers, and the quiet transmission of data across millions of kilometers. Each byte of information is a whisper from another world, inviting contemplation and curiosity. Now, think about sample return missions, where rocks, soil, and dust are collected and sent back to Earth. Imagine these tiny fragments of national history arriving in sterile laboratories, each grain holding secrets about the planet's ancient climate, water systems, and potential biology. Scientists carefully handle every sample, observing, cataloging, and analyzing with patient precision. Even in their small size, these particles carry profound stories, bridging worlds and times, and inviting calm reflection on the continuity of knowledge. Picture human missions planned for the coming decades. Astronauts may one day walk across Martian plains, tracing the paths of rivers long dried, examining craters, and peering into valleys carved over eons. Their presence is deliberate and measured, a testament to preparation, training, and courage. Visualize these explorers setting up habitats, cultivating small patches of greenery, and quietly observing the planet. Each action is both practical and meditative, a rhythm of work and observation that mirrors the slow unfolding of discovery itself. Technological innovations will play a central role in these journeys. Advanced life support systems, autonomous drones, and 3D printing technologies may enable sustainable exploration. Imagine a drone lifting softly into the thin Martian air, its sensors mapping terrain, identifying potential hazards, and revealing hidden geological features. Picture 3D printers creating tools and structures from local materials, reducing dependency on Earth and allowing exploration to expand organically. These innovations are quiet miracles of human ingenuity, blending calm efficiency with imaginative problem-solving. Consider long-term research bases on Mars, habitats designed to balance safety, sustainability, and comfort may host scientists for months or even years. Picture living quarters with soft lighting, hydroponic gardens providing nourishment and greenery, and communal spaces where researchers gather for quiet reflection or discussion. The daily rhythm of life research, observation, maintenance, and rest creates a gentle cadence, mirroring the slow, careful process of discovery. Even scientific instruments on orbiting satellites contribute to understanding Mars. Spectrometers, radar, and imaging sensors scan the surface, mapping mineral deposits, ice caps, and topographical features. Imagine the soft beep of telemetry data arriving on Earth, the careful translation of signals into images, and the slow unveiling of hidden Martian landscapes. These remote observations provide context, helping scientists plan ground missions, understand environmental conditions, and explore ancient waterways. Now picture the synthesis of all these discoveries. Data from orbiters, rovers, and human explorers combine, creating detailed maps, 3D models, and simulations of ancient Martian environments. Scientists and engineers collaborate, integrating findings to form coherent narratives of the planet's history. Imagine quiet meetings where charts and holographic displays illuminate the room, and discussions unfold at a calm, measured pace. Each insight adds a layer to the understanding of a world that has remained silent for millions of years. Consider the emotional impact of these explorations. Even remote observations connect us to something larger than ourselves. Watching the thin Martian atmosphere ripple with dust storms, seeing the shadows of craters stretch across plains, or tracing dried riverbeds evokes both awe and serenity. Feel the quiet thrill of understanding, tempered by the patient acknowledgement of what remains unknown. This gentle interplay between knowledge and mystery encourages reflection, patience, and calm wonder. Finally, allow your mind to wander along these paths of discovery. Imagine yourself observing Martian landscapes, following the tracks of rovers, and glimpsing the work of future human explorers. Picture the soft glow of habitats, the rhythm of scientific inquiry, and the unfolding story of a planet patiently revealing its history. Let yourself feel the serenity of exploration, the slow, deliberate steps of curiosity, the quiet triumphs of discovery, and the enduring invitation to wonder. Imagine yourself lying beneath a canopy of stars, the night air soft and calm, the universe stretching endlessly above you. In this quiet, contemplative space, allow your mind to wander into the possibilities of the future of what humanity may discover on Mars, and how these discoveries might ripple through our understanding of life, history, and existence itself. Picture the discovery of microbial fossils beneath the Martian surface, tiny, ancient traces of life preserved in rock, billions of years old, whisper stories of resilience, adaptation, and survival. Imagine a scientist delicately examining a sample in a lab, the soft glow of equipment illuminating their thoughtful face. Each microscopic fossil reveals connections across time and space, reminding us that life is tenacious and mysterious, and that even the smallest traces can carry profound significance. Now, consider the possibility of ancient artifacts, structures, or remnants left by a long-lost Martian civilization. Even if subtle or partially eroded, they might spark questions about intelligence, culture, and innovation beyond Earth. Picture researchers carefully documenting shapes, patterns, and alignments, piecing together histories that have been silent for millennia. The calm, deliberate pace of this work mirrors a meditative reflection on the continuity of knowledge, how the past, even from another world, might influence our understanding of ourselves. Think about how these discoveries could transform human culture. Art, literature, philosophy, and science may all draw inspiration from Martian revelations. Imagine poets crafting verses about the Red Plains, artists painting landscapes shaped by alien winds and dust, philosophers contemplating life's persistence across the cosmos. Each new insight fosters a quiet excitement, a soft thrill of connection to something vast and ancient, while nurturing patience and contemplation. Consider the ethical reflections that may accompany exploration. Discovering life past or present on Mars would prompt questions about stewardship, responsibility, and respect for ecosystems beyond our planet. Imagine committees, scientists, and communities discussing protocols with calm deliberation, weighing curiosity with care. The rhythm of these discussions, slow and thoughtful, mirrors the meditative process of inquiry, inviting serenity rather than urgency. Now, picture humanity building a lasting presence on Mars, habitats blending with the landscape, sustainable energy systems, and small communities of researchers and explorers living harmoniously with the environment. Imagine walking through these settlements, feeling the quiet balance of human ingenuity and respect for a distant world. Each structure, each carefully tended garden, reflects patience, planning, and reverence. Calm testament to the potential for coexistence with other planets. Consider how discoveries on Mars may influence our perspective of Earth. Observing another world's history, geology, and possible life encourages us to see our planet anew, its fragility, its beauty, and the interconnectedness of ecosystems. Picture standing at the edge of a Martian cliff, looking out over a barren landscape, and then shifting your gaze to Earth through a telescope. Notice the vibrant blues, greens, and swirls of clouds, a living planet teeming with life. This reflection brings both awe and calm, grounding imagination in gratitude and wonder. Think about the future stories that may emerge from these discoveries. Children listening to tales of Martian landscapes, explorers, and ancient civilizations may grow up inspired to pursue science, art, or philosophy. Imagine fireside storytelling, the flicker of light on eager faces, and a gentle sense of connection across generations. Knowledge becomes more than data. It becomes narrative, guiding imagination, ethics, and reflection in quiet, meaningful ways. Finally, consider the personal and philosophical impact. The slow, patient exploration of Mars reminds us of our place in the cosmos not as conquerors, but as learners and observers. Imagine the calm satisfaction of tracing a rover's path across a dusty plain, reflecting on the vastness of time, the persistence of life, and the endless potential of curiosity. These contemplations encourage humility, gratitude, and inner peace. The act of discovery, tempered by reflection, becomes a gentle meditation, nurturing both intellect and soul. Think of Mars, silent and eternal, its red plains stretching endlessly beneath a sky tinged with soft pink and orange. Picture the ancient valleys and cratered mountains, the quiet whispers of a world that may have once harbored life, and the traces of civilizations lost to time. Feel the gentle awe of standing on its surface, the wind brushing softly against your face, and the stillness that surrounds you. Even in its silence, Mars speaks inviting reflection, patience, and gentle curiosity. Now, let your mind drift back to Earth. Picture the familiar landscapes, the rolling hills, deep oceans, and forests that sway softly in the breeze. Each river, mountain, and desert carries a story, a silent record of time's passage and the resilience of life. Imagine tracing your fingertips along the surfaces of ancient stones or feeling the smooth curves of river-worn rocks. Every touch, every observation is a reminder of the continuity of existence, of the quiet persistence of life, and the beauty that emerges over centuries. Consider the civilizations. We have imagined those on Mars and those on Earth. Their rise, their ingenuity, and their eventual transformation or disappearance reveal patterns that echo across time. Reflect on the technological marvels, the architectural wonders, and the social structures that once flourished. Picture quiet streets, monumental buildings, and communal spaces where life unfolded. Even in their absence, these civilizations leave a Lagosha lesson in creativity, resilience, and the impermanence of all things. Now, let us dwell on the journey of discovery. Imagine explorers both human and robotic venturing across distant landscapes, observing, documenting, and learning. Each step they take is deliberate, careful, and filled with quiet reverence for the world around them. Picture rovers gliding across Martian plains, their instruments capturing subtle changes in terrain, and astronauts pausing to observe the vastness of a crater or the delicate patterns of sediment. The rhythm of exploration is gentle, almost meditative, inviting reflection and calm. Think about the knowledge we have gained and the mysteries that remain. Imagine standing beneath a canopy of stars, each one a distant sun, each with its own stories yet to be told. Feel the gentle pull of curiosity, the quiet excitement of possibility, and the serenity of acknowledging what we do not yet know. Let these thoughts drift through your mind like a soft current, carrying you along in a calm, unhurried flow of contemplation. Consider the interplay of imagination and reason. We have journeyed through speculation, Martian civilizations, ancient migrations, and hidden knowledge, and through scientific critique, observation, and evidence. Picture these two forces harmonizing in your mind, imagination as a soft wind lifting the spirit, and reason as a steady current guiding thought. Together, they create a gentle balance, fostering wonder while nurturing clarity and calm. Now, visualize the connections between past, present, and future. Ancient worlds, both real and imagined, stretch behind us like quiet echoes. Present discoveries, data from Mars, observations on Earth, and human creativity form a bridge across time. And the future, vast and unwritten, invites us to dream, explore, and reflect. Imagine this timeline as a gentle river, flowing slowly, carrying with it both knowledge and possibility. Let yourself float with it, feeling the tranquility of continuity and the serenity of cosmic perspective. Think about the role of stories and reflection in this journey. Tales of ancient civilizations, hypothetical Martian migrations, and human ingenuity guide our imagination and ethical thinking. Picture a quiet room where these stories are shared. The soft light illuminating thoughtful faces, each listener wrapped in the gentle rhythm of narrative. Feel the calm resonance of these stories, their ability to inspire reflection, and the peaceful awareness they foster as you drift closer to sleep. Now, consider your own place in this vast tapestry. You are both observer and participant, a witness to wonder, and a thinker capable of reflection. Picture yourself inhaling slowly, feeling the weight of your body grounded against the mattress, and exhaling, releasing tension and thought. Your mind, now quiet and receptive, can gently explore the connections between life, history, imagination, and the universe without haste or worry. Imagine civilizations, both real and hypothetical, Mars and Earth alike, leaving subtle echoes of their existence across time. Picture their innovations, their art, their architecture, and the lessons encoded in the stones, rivers, and deserts. Feel the calm satisfaction of knowing that each effort, however small, contributes to a larger story, a story of resilience, creativity, and persistence. The continuity of life is quiet yet profound, a gentle reminder of the rhythm of existence. Now, drift back to Mars, the red planet stretching endlessly beneath a soft sky. Imagine explorers tracing ancient riverbeds, studying sediment layers, and uncovering subtle patterns etched into the surface. Each discovery, whether a fossil, mineral, or possible trace of civilization, becomes a part of the tapestry connecting planets and epochs. Picture the slow, deliberate pace of this work, the careful observation, the gentle documentation, the quiet excitement tempered by patience. Even in its silence, Mars communicates a rhythm of endurance and reflection. Think about Earth and parallel our flowing rivers, swaying forests, and quiet deserts. Each landscape tells a story, holding traces of human ingenuity, natural evolution, and the passage of time. Imagine your fingers brushing against the surface of ancient stones, or your gaze tracing the contours of mountains. Every observation is a soft connection across time, linking generations and ecosystems in a continuous thread. Feel the serenity of this understanding, a gentle harmony that encourages reflection and calm. Consider the continuity of life, itself the interwoven existence of species, the cycles of growth and renewal, and the subtle balance that sustains ecosystems. Picture trees swaying gently in a breeze, rivers flowing slowly toward the sea, and animals moving quietly through their habitats. Each moment of life contributes to the unbroken story of existence, echoing across time. Let yourself feel the peaceful rhythm of this continuity, the soft heartbeat of the natural world that surrounds and supports us now. Envision humanity's role in this unfolding narrative. Every action, thought, and creation leaves an imprint on Earth, in our societies, and perhaps even on distant worlds. Imagine scientists documenting discoveries, artists painting landscapes, and thinkers reflecting on the mysteries of existence. Each contribution is like a pebble dropped into a still pond, creating ripples that spread quietly and persistently across time and space. Let the image of these ripples settle gently in your mind, each one a soft whisper of influence and legacy. Think of the lessons we may carry forward. Curiosity, patience, and reflection are as vital as invention and exploration. Picture yourself walking along a quiet Martian plain, feeling the subtle textures of the terrain beneath your fingertips, and letting your mind trace the patterns of history, life, and potential. Each step is measured, deliberate, and filled with quiet reverence. Allow yourself to internalize this sense of calm purpose, a gentle harmony between action and contemplation, Consider the future generations who will inherit this legacy. Imagine children gazing at the night sky, learning of Mars' mysteries, and finding inspiration in the stories of explorers and civilizations past. Picture their faces lit softly by starlight or the glow of a lamp as they listen to tales of discovery and reflection. Each story encourages thought, curiosity, and calm imagination, fostering continuity across generations. The rhythm of learning and reflection is gentle, almost hypnotic, and prepares the mind for rest. Now, let your attention return inward. Feel the soft weight of your body against your bed, the gentle rise and fall of your chest, and the slow rhythmic cadence of your breath. Allow your thoughts to drift like clouds across the night sky, carrying reflections of Mars, Earth, civilizations, and the endless possibilities of life. Each thought is soft, calm, and transient, passing gently without urgency. The mind is free to rest, nourished by wonder and contemplation. Finally, imagine the universe as a quiet, interconnected whole. Mars and Earth, past civilizations and future generations, life and discovery, all part of a continuous flow. Picture yourself as a gentle observer within this vast tapestry, breathing in serenity, breathing out reflection. Let the calm understanding of continuity, legacy, and cosmic connection cradle your mind, allowing the gentle descent into sleep to begin. Now, imagine yourself fully settled into your bed, the sheets warm and comforting around you, your body heavy and relaxed. The room is quiet, and the faint glow of the night stretches through your window. In this final part of our journey, let your mind drift completely, following the gentle rhythm of thought, reflection, and cosmic wonder. As we close this story together, picture the vast Martian plains once more, stretching endlessly under the soft glow of a distant sun. Dust swirls gently in the thin atmosphere, and ancient valleys hold the secrets of civilizations long gone. Imagine explorers, human or robotic, moving quietly across the terrain, their work slow and deliberate, each observation a soft step toward understanding. Let the tranquility of this scene settle into your mind, like the calm of a slowly flowing river. Now, turn your thoughts toward Earth. Visualize its oceans, mountains, forests, and deserts, each element moving subtly, naturally, in the rhythm of life. Picture the wind brushing over leaves, water rippling gently along riverbanks, and sunlight caressing the curves of mountains. The Earth, alive and vibrant, mirrors the lessons of patience, resilience, and continuity we have explored throughout this journey. Feel the connection between the two planets, the silent dialogues of landscapes, the echoing stories of life, and the unseen threads that link worlds across space and time. Consider humanity's place in the cosmos. Picture yourself as a quiet observer of both worlds, contemplating the civilizations past and the mysteries that remain. Each breath you take is a part of this continuum, each thought a gentle reflection of curiosity, imagination, and understanding. Feel the serene awareness that you are part of something much larger, an ongoing story of life, discovery, and wonder that stretches across time and space. Now, let your mind explore the gentle mysteries we have imagined together: Martian civilizations, hidden relics, ancient water systems, and the possibilities of life yet to be discovered. Imagine these mysteries as soft, glowing points of light in your mind's eye, each one pulsating with curiosity and calm reflection. There's no rush to know everything. Instead, let the uncertainty and the vastness lull you into a quiet, meditative state where questions float gently without urgency. Picture future explorers on Mars, their work steady and patient, their discoveries illuminating paths for those who follow. Imagine the soft glow of habitats, instruments quietly humming, and data being collected, analyzed, and appreciated with care. Each moment of exploration is a quiet triumph, a testament to curiosity, patience, and respect for the unknown. Feel the tranquility of these moments and allow them to infuse your mind with calm wonder. Now, let your attention return inward. Focus on your breathing, the slow rise and fall of your chest, the gentle expansion and contraction of your body. With each exhale, release any lingering tension or thought. With each inhale, invite serenity, reflection, and gentle curiosity. Picture the interconnectedness of life, knowledge, and imagination as a soft light radiating within you, soothing every muscle, calming every thought. Consider the stories we have shared on this journey, the rise and fall of civilizations, the mysteries of Mars, the interplay of science and imagination, and the continuity of life. Imagine these stories drifting through your mind like a gentle river, each one carrying calm, wonder, and reflection. They are a quiet companion, a soft lullaby of thought and imagination, easing you toward peaceful rest. Finally, allow your mind to rest completely. Picture yourself floating gently in the vast cosmos, surrounded by stars, planets, and endless possibilities. Feel the soft rhythm of the universe around you, the calm pulse of time, and the gentle embrace of knowledge, curiosity, and imagination. Let go of any remaining tension, any lingering thoughts, and simply drift. Sleep is natural, inevitable, and restorative, carrying you into the night with the calm satisfaction of reflection and wonder. As you settle fully into this space of serenity, know that the mysteries of Mars, the lessons of Earth, and the infinite possibilities of the universe remain with you not as pressure, but as quiet companions for thought, reflection, and dreaming. Allow your consciousness to float gently, peacefully, guided by the calm rhythm of the universe. As sleep envelops you completely, rest now, drift now, dream now.